conflict, other times are broken in this crazy place we call our home. Ever since the day that I was born, I've been alone. Now with you, my tears are all dried up. You're all in my dreams, I wanna go. It's where I'm home. I met you at the wrong time, secrets for a lifetime. Just promise me you'll keep it close. Lay alone like everything's alright. We'll be just fine. Now with you, there's no point in trying, 'cause all that we need's in front of us. I haven't made of our love. Bonds that we made on that day surpass even familiar ways. Connected our hearts, together they'll stay. Grab on my hand, yeah, come on, let's go. What should we eat when we're finally home? Here, I'll tell you about my day. These are the things I wanna say. I wanna be with you the rest of my days. It's always a comedy when we play. Dancing around on this creaking bed. We'll laugh a long run till the cheeks are red. A life like this will just play along.
Can't take it no more. I'm going crazy. Is this a game or is it love? Please tell me, baby. I want you with me. I see it clearly, you and me, eternity. When the stars kiss the sky, love to see them in your eyes. Could I bring you up tonight? Maybe now's not a good time. Praying the moon reaches to the stars. Hold me in your arms. I wanna lie here close to you. Don't leave so soon.
You know, I have never felt so miserable. Sometimes I lie awake in bed wondering if you and me would even last forever. But I need to know that you'll stay with me. You gotta tell me now. Here we go.
Can't take it no more. You're being so cruel. Is this a game or is it love? Quit playing the fool. Let's try to be real.
This has to be real.
So open up and let me know just how you feel. When the stars kiss the sky, love to see them in your eyes. To tell you that we're more than friends. Hope I don't sound too desperate. Praying the moon reaches to the stars, that we don't tear apart. There's so much of my love to see if you stay with me. When the stars kiss the sky, love to see them in your eyes. Could I bring you up tonight? Maybe now's not a good time. Praying the moon reaches to the stars. Hold me in your arms. I wanna lie here close to you. Don't leave so soon. I've never felt like da 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 da. I've never felt like da 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 da. Baby, stay with me. Da 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 da. You gotta tell now your love came all over me.
If you could spread your wings, then you would soar to the heavens. You only dream one thing, of the blue that's beckoning. You think your brilliant days flowing ever in pace. You've never
界照らすよ戦え最後の敵は自分さえ永遠に不思議な恐怖が仲間をつなぐ懸命に生きること Protect your Yes, we've got superpower 最高の夢信じ合うライバルとのキスなん審判のようにじゃね Yes, we've got superpowers Yes, we've got superpowers Yes, we've got superpowers Yes, we've got superpowers Yes, we've got superpowers
Yeah. What happened to the Uno stream? I have two templates for gaming. I have one where I'm just live streaming and one where I'm live streaming and recording. And I had selected the non-live streaming one. The one that didn't record. And then I just went, screw it. I stopped that stream. It just went, I'm not streaming. Screw it.
The state of you.
And screw it.
The absolute state.
This is gonna be good.
Nah.
I turn 32 tomorrow. Please express all condolences in the form of scam bucks. I actually did give you scam bucks. Happy birthday. Sup, yo. Thoughts on Persona 3 Reload? It's good. It's good. Some of the changes I really don't like, especially in terms of the way Tartarus works now. But I'm probably still like, I think I'm at the end of September or early October. I still have quite a ways to go with it. Infinite Wealth just destroying my time as far as gaming goes. Yo, bums, are we still getting Mark of March? No, yo, we're never getting it.
Yeah, still. Don't just add words like that.
Like it was a foregone conclusion and we're just not allowing it to happen now. I'd argue Naruto and Hunter x Hunter don't have boring main character powers in the Yasha 2.
Yeah, the argument.
First video we see is what we're going to do.
The argument, I'd like to see the argument. And same thing with the Oden one, though, because, my goodness.
Aries Queen says, DA gave me $1.50. He said something about a time machine. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
But thanks for the tip.
DA.
There's something about a time machine ready.
Stank on my name. Oh my goodness.
DA. Something about a time machine.
I don't know.
I don't know what the f he's talking about, but thanks for the tip. There's a couple new voice clips too. Speaking of DSP, the main character power is unique though. Yeah, like I'm very interested to. I saw Oden first, so that's what we're doing. All that Nia set up just for going to punch and use scissors one. He uses that. He uses scissors. He uses a contract. He uses paper. I don't necessarily think his powers are boring. I think if you want to talk about it, other characters have more interesting powers. But other characters having more interesting powers, like Knuckle, doesn't mean his powers are boring. They just aren't as inherently interesting as a Knuckle.
We'll get to it, but there's a lot to say about that, and I'd like to hear the argument, but that's a dude who is not very good.
Okay, we're not talking about how to use the show. That's the writer's fault. We're talking about the concept of power itself.
Yes, we got superpowers.
That song has grown on me.
It shouldn't have had to.
It
Should have been frame one.
It's still like mid, upper mid, but like it's grown on me. Snorting scam bucks. Hide the moment when Starfinger was used more than Jajonkin's scissors.
Yeah, he only used it once or twice.
I got 2 huge bills due this month. Dude, he's going nuts that Final Fantasy is not saving his...
And I'm so happy.
That wig is... This is the second, and at this point, I do not believe it was gifted to him. I believe he bought it. Because this is the second time. Oh, that was a voice clip. This is the second time he's looked at the Amazon version of it. Because he looked at that and says it looks nothing like the Amazon thing.
He could, in the defense, he could have just been sent it and just like, I want to buy you this wig.
He 100% bought it himself.
I've got no dog in that fight either way. I just think it looks horrible.
This is the second one that he's had that looks horrible. The title already got me because protagonists with stretchy power, finger guns as weapon, rock, paper, scissors, and even creating life itself with a stand is apparently boring. Ready for trash.
Big trash time.
Thanks for re-up and hope. Let's get into the names. Let's get into the video. What's up, Carlo, Butterman, Blaze, Aries, Priscilla, Hope, the Meme, Jam, Alfonso, Jay, Nami, Hi, JDX. Are we reaching near the end of the piece?
Divine Instinct Goku, Ultra Essence Goku, True Divine Essence Goku.
Why did that happen so quickly?
It's random.
Mark's importance of Nami video is great. Thank you for the super chat, Nami.
Every time, it just gets me off guard. Like, oh, he is still making those, and he's doing all of them.
Love One Piece, Joey, Floofy, Ivana, Crimson. I'm at Punk Hazard now. Also, what's up, BG and DA? Punk Hazard gets a lot of flack, but I enjoy Punk Hazard. Varia. Gamer, what do you think will be the starters for the new Pokemon Legends game?
Good.
Hard to say. It depends on. I wonder if they'll. You know what I would really like if they're gonna do the several versions of the game. I would love if they picked the type of starter as opposed to the starter. So you get the choice of 3 generations of fire starters as opposed to 1 fire, 1 water, 1 of whatever generation they picked. But who's to say? Nika, Blanc, Blanque? I'm gonna go Blanque. Keep talking, and I believe that's everybody. Yeah, so we're doing the Oden video first. We are talking about Did Oda Ruin Oden? One Piece analysis by Shadowflame. This is several years ago. And I had looked in the description because I like to grab whatever content.
Nobody's listening to you, you cuck!
Cool. And he was just like, yeah, chapter 970 isn't out. It just came out and it reaffirmed.
This video was made before chapter 970, and after reading 970, it does prove a couple points that I made in this video. So
he wasn't even like, it wasn't even the end of Oden. This is like almost the beginning of the flashback.
This is it's the Fool of a Lord where he starts dancing.
What are we doing?
I don't know. There's clearly a reason why he's doing this. That's why I'm so curious, because I'm like, what the could he? As you're reading it, going, oh man, he's not cooking with this. Why didn't he just cut off his head?
So you missed nothing. You haven't even started.
You baby!
All right. Description, boys.
That's the description.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay then. No need for description, boys. Let's just get into it.
Yeah, I understand so many people hated that moment, but you gotta understand that it was done for a reason, and they explain what the reason is, and it's logical for the character.
And it was fantastic once you realize. If you're just jumping in full force rage, oh my god, this is the
just cut his head off. It's like, no, because he's alive in the current time.
Yes, Persona 3 Reload is a good remake. There are some things I prefer to the original. I wish they would have incorporated all the versions of Persona 3 in this reload. But I feel like they're going to have an expansion for the answer and the Persona 3 portable content with the female MC. And I would just, if you've got Game Pass, I would just play it now. If you want to wait, you should wait like 8 months because they're probably gonna just announce a new version of it. I hit the play button, sir. Oh,
Disaster stream. Disaster.
no, I clicked the wrong one.
Rip.
That was literally the issue. Odin. I've never been a fan of the Final Fantasy VII games to begin with, so the remake is really lost on me. Really lost on me.
Oof. Ooh, not liking this. This is why not just have
Did
this?
Oda ruined Odin? The short answer is no. The long answer is maybe. It's all about perspective. And in this video, I'm going to look at things from different perspectives.
Who cares about different perspectives?
Yeah.
What is your perspective?
Do you think this thing? I don't care, because in any perspective, anything can be anything. So let's talk about what you think.
I was made aware in the comments about people's reaction to the Idiot Lord. Well, from the writer's perspective, I understand why Oda did that.
No, writer's perspective is dead. What is your perspective? As the audience, what do you believe? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you enjoy it?
Because you can't say from the writer's perspective, because you don't know where where it's going, because it's like 3 or 4 chapters left before the end of the Odin flashback. So what perspective are you seeing from this?
We just started, so you're a little late, but literally 41 seconds into this.
He doesn't want to do something ordinary. Like,
No! That's his perspective?
That's goofy.
I don't think... I mean, you could probably say that's his perspective, but that's your perspective of what his perspective is. I don't think that's it definitively.
I honestly do not believe Oda wrote Odin and went, I'm gonna write something that's not ordinary.
Again, who goes into writing stuff, thinking stuff like that? Like, I gotta write something that's not ordinary. Because then you're hamstringing yourself when you just go, oh, somebody else has done this. Enough people have done this that it's gonna be ordinary, so I have to do something else. And that might not be as good for the story because it's not a logical thing. It's like a swerve in wrestling where, yeah, if Mods and Midia are having a match and Mankind comes out, you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect that.
That's cool.
But it doesn't mean that it's good.
But it might be good because he was part of that storyline. It'd be different if it was those two and like Lita came out. Like what is Lita doing here with good?
Nami the Goat says, is this about to be another Drizzt teaching us the 3 Ps?
If it is, we're done. If the letter P comes out of his mouth in the next minute, we're done.
Zaldonic says, this man sounds like he's presenting an essay on a subject he doesn't care about.
People have their ways of speaking, and we don't
Judge
them around here.
he doesn't want to do something ordinary. Like Odin goes to Orochi, kills him, and everything is resolved.
Pause. It's not about doing something ordinary. He literally cannot because the mother is alive in the current timeline.
It can't be that story.
It can't. It's ordinary or no. He can't.
He can't have done that.
Yeah. With the story that he told previously.
That's not how a manga story is written. There's nothing superficial in them, or one-dimensional characters. A mangaka always tries to go to the extremes.
No, that's not true. There's so many slice of life manga that have the most ordinary people.
It's not just aliens coming by. It is chapter 1. Hey, Kobe sees Tadano, and you just go, oh, they're going to get together. And they do. And then you go, cool. Sometimes a cake is just a cake. You just eat the cake.
And that's why these stories are so unique. So,
they're not unique. What's the difference between reading a manga and reading a comic in terms of story structure, characters, those types of things? What about a comic is not extreme where a manga is?
Time traveler Odin goes back in time to kill Kaido. It's like, oh, that's out of the ordinary, I guess. He introduced time fruit so he can do it again, and this what happened, different timeline done. No.
theoretically, I agree 100% with Oda. And what he did try to do. He deserves to be praised for that because his goal was right.
Aries Queen says, For April Fools, you should have DA do a DBZMARN style 1 hour long video about the greatness of pigmen.
Impossible. But it's already
Cyberman
been...
Wharf
We're
says,
already in the works.
This guy feels like another shonen anime, manga is all anime, manga type of guy.
It's crazy because he just said that I understand it from Oda's perspective of trying to write a unique story. And if you're looking at it with that type of perspective, you're always going to agree with what the mangaka is doing, even if it's bad, because at least it's unique. I don't give a about that.
Oh, if you're nowhere near close to Wano, get out of here because Oden is the best thing in that in arc.
Yeah, I would not be here. To be the most fair, though, it doesn't sound like there's gonna. No, you're gonna get
the
spoiled.
Goat says,
You're gonna get spoiled.
I don't know RWBY goes to the extreme with how bad it is.
Oh, it does. Oh, it goes beyond.
Plus ultra.
But practically, I don't agree. The execution left a lot to be desired. And this is not the first time that happened.
And again, you're talking about the execution when the execution is not done.
Slander again.
The guillotine is coming down on the neck. The execution is not done.
Yes.
We're in
And you're
the
like,
middle.
this person's still
I
alive.
don't agree with the execution. The execution is not. It's what the.
They're in the middle of their last meal. Why are they not already dead?
What is this Big Mom art? Somebody got a fetish, and we don't kink shame unless we're talking about the two things that we kink shame.
The same thing with Big Mom. I'm going to use a graph to make it easier to understand.
Where is this graph coming from, and where are we?
This is a terrible looking graph, by the way.
It's not a great graph.
It looks like there's 4 cells, and he just cropped 2 out and poorly cropped 2 out.
What is this?
What is this graph possibly gonna be?
The graph.
Move this man!
The font! Oh my god, the font is terrible! What? This is terrible!
You have the character in the middle and on the sides the extremes.
What?
This is not how graphs work! The character's in the middle, so I guess, okay, the character, before you learn about the character, they're completely in the middle.
And then they can go over to the extreme of weak or over to the extreme of super strong or smart or dumb.
Let's take as an example the basic things, like good, bad.
All right, next video.
Weak is bad? Because all the ones on the right side are terrible.
Wouldn't the right side be the good one and you're going to the left to the negatives? Doesn't matter. Whatever. This is his graph. We're just going by whatever their graph is.
Who cares if a character is dumb?
Yeah.
Dumb characters can be good. Who cares if a character is weak? Weak characters can be good. Who cares? What do you mean by...
Who cares if it's 50-50? Who cares if it's 50-50 either way? 75-60. I don't know what this graph is for.
Oh, dude.
Smart, dumb, strong, weak, etc. Now, the middle is 0, and both sides are up to 100%. During the character's storyline, while going forward, it's good to go in both directions, but of course with good reasons, and not just because, or flip-flopping like crazy.
Can you give examples of good reasons where a character goes from smart to dumb or dumb to smart? Does a smart character does dumb things? Can you give an example of when that would be good?
Yeah. Unless it's something like they didn't have all the information and they go into a situation that.
But that's not dumb. That's
that
lack
people
of
would advise against because they have the information. I don't know what this exactly is, but
Jay says, I could make a better graph in grade 1.
this is not the best graph I've ever seen personally. No, calm down.
It's objectively good.
But if the character stays only on one side, then it is not a character anymore, just a bystander or an extra to the story.
You can be good throughout the entirety of the story.
You can be smart throughout the entirety of the story.
You can be
and Light are smart throughout the entirety of the story. They make bad mistakes, but that's based upon what information they have or the situation that they're in.
You can
C
be
says,
weak throughout the story.
Is this guy trying to make a spectrum?
I don't know what he's doing.
There's no cook.
Robin is smart and has been for the entirety of the series. I don't think that it's a bad thing to go into the 100 and stay at the 100.
I do miss Dritz's grass at this point.
Well, this is what he's cooking. So no, I'm sorry. He doesn't get to anymore.
And that would be really boring and the storyline non-existent.
No, it does. No, it wouldn't. I would not want Chopper to be a dumb character because for the sake of, oh, he's on 100% over here on this terrible graph, so it's boring for the story. No, I wouldn't want Luffy to start picking up books and being smart. No, he's dumb.
But remember, I'm talking here in general. There are specific cases when you need the character to stay only on one side for the story to work. And the other thing is that if the character reaches 100%, that is just as bad, and the character stops being a character.
No, they don't.
So if the character reaches 100% of smart, they're cooked.
One Punch Man is the strongest in the verse, so he is 100%. Is he no longer a character?
Saitama is absolutely a character.
That makes zero sense. The weakest character in the series can be a character. The dumbest character can be a character. This isn't anything. The beginning of Hunter x Hunter, the dude that scams everybody to get out of the Hunter exams. Weak. Super weak, but a character. What is he talking about? This is horrible. This isn't a graph. I know I called Saitama One Punch Man, but y'all knew what I was talking about.
Because then the character cannot go in the middle anymore. And the balance
yes, they can go into the middle.
Because even if you hit 100%, there could be a moment where you start sliding back into that middle, sliding back into 70%. It's not like you're locked into 100 forever.
Gone was the
Predati
strongest.
Xer Gaming XL says, "Hey guys, what did you two think of the Crunchyroll Awards? People are bad that Luffy won Best
It's
MC.
trash. It's just a popularity contest that
Yeah.
I really don't care about because 50 million people watch Jujutsu Kaisen, so 20 million people are going to vote for that, and it's just going to get swamped by everything. Doesn't matter. It's just a popularity
Cyberman
contest.
Worf says, let us talk about Odin. By the way, look at this graph.
Look at this graph.
What does Odin have to do with the graph?
He went 100% dumb.
But he
Or-
didn't.
Or 100% bad. Or 100% weak.
But he says that if you go to 100%, you can't go back
Because you're no longer a character.
But Gon was rivaling the king based upon what Pito said. Pito, who has seen the king and knows how strong they are, and then he went back literally to the other 100%, and then he went back to literally 0. So it is possible, and it can be done. I hate this graph more than almost anything we've seen, physically, actively seen with our eyes and revisited in a while. Because it's so dumb and it makes no sense. And its justification of once you get to 100 is bad. But not only is it bad, you can't go
Aries
back.
Queen says, look at these photo, graph. Gavin is Lightning says, look at this graph. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
Look at
This
this.
is horrible.
Look at this graph. It just holes on his face.
But this is just some April Fool's Day thing. You look at this, you show this to somebody, you like explain this graph.
What
like
what is the intent of the person?
and again, what can you be 100 in a stat and then 75 in the other way? Does that mean that you are a character because you've maxed out one stat but then not maxed out the other? A super strong guy that's dumb, that's not the dumbest person, but like a 50
He
dumb.
says, this graph is more confusing than that guy who had his TV on the ground.
This is less of a graph and more of a slider. Like it starts at a 0, you slide it over to the right, you
My
slide it over to the left.
goodness. This graph is a 100 in one direction, I'll say that. It can't go back.
And that's the difference between an interesting storyline and a
The Almighty
superficial
Jew
one.
Hansen says, why even make a graph for a character who is just 100% in one thing?
To explain it, I would assume, but it's not explaining anything.
The other important thing to know is that when it comes to stories and characters, impression is everything. Once a character does something, let's just say something stupid. After that, he does 10 smart things, that one dumb thing will always be in your mind.
Sure,
And
but
since-
you would have to figure out if it was a justifiably dumb thing,
Mhm.
or if it was a dumb thing that was impulsive in the moment. They were running on false information. We would have to look at that dumb thing and analyze what it was. It wouldn't just be a blanket statement. This is a dumb thing. Let's move on. We would have to tackle it point by point, not just this is. That's a problem with something like this. Just saying that something is stupid like this. We don't know what that stupid thing is and how it weighs with the character, with what they've done with the
It's
smart
objectively
things.
good.
No, it's not.
Since these characters are fictional, those 10 smart things will seem like fake and would not have an impact on
Why? Because smart people make dumb decisions all the time.
Why are the smart things seen as fake and not the dumb thing? If a character does 10 smart things and then one dumb thing, and then 10 more smart things, those 20 smart things aren't canceled out by the dumb thing. It would have to be they did a bad thing either for the plot, the mangaka needed to do something, they were, whatever the case may be,
their situation.
whatever it is, we need to talk about that, not just this general thing.
the reader or viewer. When something breaks, it will never be the same again. And I think sometimes Oda is not protecting his characters enough. He deserves praise for trying to do something unique. Because remember, the easy way would be for him just to have Oden defeat Orochi.
No,
But
it
no,
wouldn't,
he went
because
the
he
hard
can't.
way. And sometimes when you do that, things may not go as planned. But this is...
No, the fans may not get what they want.
Yeah.
These big baby men.
Notera says,
How-
who would win Hillary Clinton or Cloudside Phil?
Hillary got the fight in him.
Yeah, you can see it with the stance. He's
Yeah.
ready.
He was defending it like, you guys are transphobic, and he got the fight. He got the anger. Cloudside Phil, he's just happy because he had money.
He
Done
is a
so.
sad boy.
Go back. What did they say?
Yeah, sure.
He went the hard way. And sometimes when you do that, things may not go as planned.
Oh, pause. So things aren't going as planned in a manga that he is writing because he wanted to do things the hard way. He shapes the world, he makes the plans, but they're not going to plan because of him wanting to do something different.
Yep, that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying that Oda, from his perspective, wanted to do something unique. And that's all he thought about. And now that he's in the unique thing, it's a problem because now he doesn't know where to go.
And that's
KLX ain't here.
And that's the problem with the false, I'm looking at this in their perspective, because he's already put up he's trying to do something unique, and that's his perspective, and now I'm going to attack that perspective. It's bad.
But this is a bigger problem, and maybe I will talk about this in another video.
How about you talk about it now?
Harboderman says, the author wants to do something unique and so it's bad.
It's bad because of what happened with the unique thing, which is, I think he's about to explain. KLX are our brothers. We have ALX, which is us. We have B-List exists, which is the fans doing revisited type of things. I think they call it P-Visited. And then there's KLX, who are just our brothers. No, I need to get them retwisted. Sometime this month I'm supposed to do it.
Every writer over time tries to improve his way of storytelling and tries to deal and fix certain problems. But I am very surprised that Oda has not done that in 20 years. One of the reasons for that is that people around him are a bunch of morons. Almost every interview I read from them, they always say one dumb thing after another. I don't know why Oda has...
Hey,
Do you think he's going to give examples?
I was just about to ask, is there going to be examples?
Because I don't know what they're talking about.
Yes, I
Quite
don't
frankly.
read the interview. Yeah, anybody in the Discord can be part of it. If you scroll all the way down above the archives, you'll see the B-List chat.
those people around him. Sometimes I hear even Oda saying...
Harboderman says, dude doesn't even know what Oda's perspective is, so he could be wrong and this video is just useless.
Useless! It is truly an entire video built on a perspective that he made up with no evidence.
When are we going to get back to the graph?
dumb things like them. which is really worrying. Just recently, after watching the new film, Oda said that this is the best One Piece film so far. However, the final stages of my manga will be much more interesting. I was shocked to hear that.
Pause.
Why would...
Okay, so how is that people around him saying stupid things, number one, because you just laid that claim and then you moved on. And number two, yes, the man is hyping up a movie.
And then hyping up his manga.
Yeah, it's like, if you guys like this, wait till you see what I'm doing. What's the problem with that? You can say that you don't like the movie or you think it's bad or whatever, but you can't be like, oh, Oda, he's hyping up, he's saying that this is good when it's bad? No, and now he's comparing his manga to
Nobody's listening to you, you cuck!
Hey, people were doing the rounds from Madam Web. Like, what do you want from them?
You do what you got. What mangaka, what person is just gonna be like, nah, don't, this is
a terrible movie and I don't, unless they're not involved in it at all, like,
you're trying to sell tickets. You're trying to keep the brand up. You wouldn't be like, it's all right. I mean, watch it if you want to.
You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say!
I don't see the point because you really never know what the author is saying or thinking unless interviews confirm them, but even then it's not a guarantee. And it's truly just, hey, what's going on?
Oda compare his story to a lame, pathetic fan fiction.
It's not a fan fiction. He was involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not lame and pathetic. And like, you can say it's fan service, but so is Marineford. Who gives a
Yeah, it's you saying lame and pathetic doesn't mean anything when we don't know your perspective about it. What is lame about it?
If there are things you liked in this movie, it's gonna be even better in the manga. You looking up the interview?
No, I'm looking up if they have a Stampede video, which they do not.
Cool.
There is no competition between the original and a fake.
It's not a fake, it's an expansion.
Yeah. And Oda's just went, this is good, and my manga is also good. And you going, well, you can't compare them. Well, he's kind of not. Is fan service a bad thing? You also have to talk about that. Like, yeah, the Supernovas were in it. Bonnie was in it. Hooray, Bonnie. Yeah. But he seems to have a track that he wants to go down.
Yes.
With the complaints that he has.
Marineford was all right. This is pure yappery. An official movie is fake, I guess.
This is 4 minutes in, and we've not talked about Oden.
We talked about a graph?
There was a graph. I remember the graph.
The graph was fun.
Harboderman says, the author advertising his own story? Color me shocked.
You can't do that.
You're not allowed!
If that is his benchmark for the story, then the story is in trouble.
Did he say that's his benchmark for the story?
Did he say, I'm gonna build upon what happened in Stampede?
Did he say that, yeah, this is a 7, but here comes my 8? No. He said it's good. What he values, he thinks is good. What you value, you don't think is good. So you can't just be like, this is, mother, shut up.
Rich, what fan service is things that make the fans excited. For some people, that's going to be your boobs and your butts and your hot ladies.
Something like Star Wars, where in the recent Ahsoka film, I mean, it was just the Ahsoka show, Darth Vader showed up and people got hyped about Darth Vader.
Yes.
It's a thing that you recognize that you're excited about, where you just clap and go hooray.
For something like anime, you can look at a lot of Dragon Ball Super. Trunks doing a final flash. That's fans.
Broly coming back. Those
types of things. That's fan service. Frieza returning. Cell returning. Not even though it's not really Cell. New transformations for Gohan.
But I'm hoping Oda was just being nice to the people who made the movie. I hope it was like, good job kids, now watch how it is done.
Oh, so you hope that it's like this.
Sucks.
So you know his perspective before, but now you don't understand his perspective now, and you hope that it's like this. You're not taking his words as a fact, but you're taking his manga as, I know where this is going because I understand his perspective. That doesn't work like that. The man is saying something, you're just like, well, maybe he's not saying that thing. And he's drawing something, you're going, well, I know what he was intending with this. Mother,
I know what he wanted to say.
What?
Anyway, I said earlier that Oden was not the only one. Big Mom got the same treatment. Now, there is no doubt that Big Mom is one of the strongest characters in the story. She's a Yonko for a reason. Capone called her the Iron Balloon. She is very strong physically, has King's Haki, a very strong deals with power, and she uses so effectively, and the skill and power of her attacks is incredible. She has all the attributes to be considered as a scary monster among the readers.
But she spent half the arc talking about a wedding cake and getting thrown around by Jinbei, so boo.
That can't be. Because that stuff did nothing, and she's a big baby lady.
30 seconds.
Within 30?
Viewers. Oda did an amazing job. I am impressed. But in the eyes of the readers, the element of fear or danger from Big Mom is non-existent.
That's false.
But it is.
People literally shaking their boots.
Yes, we need to put her down first and foremost. Katakuri can see the future. We'll deal with him when we deal with him. We have to make sure that she is incapacitated first and foremost. Once she is, we can do whatever. But she needs to be down.
The entirety of the arc is run away from that scary lady.
Big Mom, Luffy goes gear forth and does the attack that beat Doflamingo. Big Mom holds up her arm
while smiling
and stops it. But there's no threat. Nami literally sees the big wave and goes, "Sorry, Luffy, we are dead."
And Chopper goes, "I just gotta kill myself along with her."
Also, remember this videos about Oden? Bro randomly threw in some Big Mom Kuma. I wasn't even gonna mention that. Dude, like I said, he's on his own track. You do what you do, homie. That's your thing, that's your thing.
Did bro ask permission?
Of course not.
Absolutely not.
And that is because the readers saw her run around for an entire arc screaming wedding cake.
15 seconds.
17 seconds.
17 seconds.
To be the most fair. Yes, she went crazy about a wedding cake.
And she was attacking the crew.
And attacking her whole island.
There were several times where they thought that they were going to die. This was a threat. Was she as big of a threat if she was in her right mind? No, she was not, but she was still a big threat.
But would this be any different if instead she just screamed, "Kill Straw Hats"?
And she was rampaging.
And it's the exact same actions, but it's "Kill Straw Hats."
Boo this man!
Isn't this video about Oden? I'm sorry, but we're never gonna get to Oden. We all just need to accept this. Look at the graph
is going a certain direction. It's about to hit 100, and we're never gonna get Oden.
And by doing that, not just she did reach 100%, but went beyond. Now it is hard to take her seriously.
What did she go beyond in? What is the category that she went beyond in? Strong, stupid,
bad, dumb bad.
But she wasn't. She had a goal, and she was going towards that goal.
He literally just said it's impossible to take her seriously.
But it isn't. Because she was ready to kill the Straw Hats.
She was moments away from killing
several times. Pearl Sparrow was just like, I told them they have the cake, so when she finds out they don't, I'm dead. So that's also not good, but we deal with that when we deal with that.
Waiting on TTS.
Silver Heart Soul says, "Was driving. Why are we talking about Big Mom?"
Why aren't we talking about Oden is the question.
Are we going to get halfway to the video before you start talking about Oden? That means we've got another minute, 10 seconds.
No, I think he's going to do it.
70 seconds? Okay.
Now it is hard to take her seriously. Even filler characters are not treated like that.
Like what?
She has become a joke of a character in the eyes of the readers.
Pause. What is the joke about this? They had to dispatch her, and they did.
In Wano, while she's there, they're like, "Holy Big Mom, let's hope she don't regain her, cause we're cooked if it happens."
And to make things even worse, which I did not think that was possible, she lost her memory. She had amnesia.
I love that plot.
Mm-hmm. But it's a dumb plot point that the character gets amnesia.
Sure, absolutely.
Ah, amnesia. Also known as the best storytelling technique.
It's not.
It's a fine storytelling technique.
It's all dependent on what you do with it.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was basically about amnesia.
Whoever said in the beginning, I'm not in Wano. The air was fine. You could have stayed.
I'm being sarcastic, of course. Amnesia is not part of storytelling.
Yes, it is! People have used it for storytelling!
It absolutely is a part of storytelling. If you like it or if you don't, that's all dependent on you, but it is.
Technically,
that's like saying child abuse is not part of a story just because you don't like it, just because it's not a good thing within the story. No, it is.
Yuji literally has amnesia with his deal with Sakuna. Is it bad? Is it not a storytelling device? You can talk about whether it's good, the implementation of it, but just going, amnesia is not storytelling is false.
I did not need to read the Oden flashback last week and also this week.
The potential of the character of Big Mom was huge.
There we go with this potential bullshit again. Y'all just in your mind always push these characters up to this unbelievable height of, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing when we get to Big Mom, because she's gonna be big and scary. She's singing and dancing and just a big baby lady.
Character to be a big dumb baby lady, and it's great. And then you have the big wall that is Kaido, who also has his dumb drunk quirks.
No!
Her features and backstory are amazing. Oda did an incredible job. But the way she is used, I have no words.
I don't understand. These people really just wanted her to be this big, scary monster of a lady. Just wiping people out. I love Big Mom.
When she is an overgrown baby lady who always gets her way, and when she doesn't, she throws a temper tantrum. And because she's so strong, it's like, you better give her what you want.
Baby! Else, we're donezo.
We're halfway through the video and he still hasn't brought up Oden. Who could have foreseen this?
Let's go back to Oden.
There we go.
There we go.
Just underneath that halfway point. Soul focus and soul manipulation is terrifying. Legit, Jinbei ran away the first time.
If you are wondering what did I think when I saw Oden dancing naked in the street, well, I thought nothing. Because I did check out on this character a long time ago.
What? Hell. Oh, boy. No.
Because he didn't do the strong thing.
But he did do the strong thing.
But he didn't really do the strong thing.
But he did.
It wasn't strong enough.
But he did.
Oh. Big Mom is the Homelander of this show? That's a great way to put it. Because Homelander is terrifying, but he's just some big baby man. Literally sucking breast milk. He's not really terrifying. No, why not?
In that chapter that Oden was introduced, and everything that he did, the people around him were going crazy with admiration for no reason, I was shocked. I could not believe what I was seeing.
Pause. It was just them going crazy. The rest of the people were like, why are you eating off my family member's grave? It was just that one single panel of them going, he's so cool.
Are people not allowed to think a person is cool?
It was,
and is the story beholden to show you why they're cool in their introduction of people saying they're cool?
The flashback started in 959, I believe. And it was just a couple of pages. And it was people going, ugh, Oden's back, get the out of here. And then the next chapter, that's when this happened. But that happens towards the end of the chapter. And the beginning of the chapter is the report from the dude to his father going, at age 1, he had thrown his wet nurse down the stairs. At age 6, he was going into a brothel.
Gone forever.
And all of these things. And then we see him, we see what he's doing. It was literally just that.
Oden was breathing air, and everyone around him was reacting, whoa, this is epic.
No, it is somebody who's getting cremated and he's eating literally over their bones.
And people think it's cool.
So the women are like, this is cool. Auga. And in that panel, they just go, oh, here's this charismatic motherfucker.
Dude, how many times have we seen in a slice of life show a character is introduced and it's like, oh my god, it's that character. Video games, a character is introduced and it's just like, holy it's them.
And then,
manga and anime characters are introduced and it's like, holy it's them.
And then we see what they can do, because in that chapter, it was said the big mafia boss was just like, hey, don't go after Kinemon. Kinemon is stronger than any of you guys. So that establishes that the big mob boss, who is established to be very powerful, his underlings, Kinemon is stronger than him. In the next chapter, Kinemon tries to go after the boar. The boar one-shots him, and then Oden kills the boar. So you just go, okay, that's the hierarchy. We see what he can do. Everybody was afraid of the boar. He beats the boar. I'm sorry, but what do you want? Where is the graph?
He is special. This is the first time I've seen something like that in a story.
How many stories have you read?
Characters hyping up this guy, especially after he was introduced.
Cotton
And
Candy Hope says, oh my god, it's Sting and Rouge, they are 3rd generation Dragon Slayer. And then they got washed canny.
they did get washed. That was bad. All right, that was real bad.
But Fairy Tail did that a lot. Oh my god, it's 6 or 7 of the baddest mother you'd have never seen.
But back in Zoe, they were talking about Oden's exploits. So we've gotten all this time of what all the things that Oden has done.
Silverheart
leading
Soul
up to
says,
this point.
this is starting to look like he just didn't like Oden. Not that he thinks he was ruined.
Yeah, I don't know. Because he said that he checked out on him. And checked out on him just because people were hyping him up. And then we see why they were hyping him up. Hey, over there is Ashura Doji. He rules over this entire town. He's a super big month and villain. He goes there by himself. All the underlings, fights for a day and beats him. What do you have
No
to
Terra
see?
says, oh my god, it's the Shadow Beasts, that they'll handle the Phantom Troop for sure.
Dude, how many stories could he possibly have read where he's not seeing people freak out?
Somebody else. It is not just the hype. It is the performance afterwards. He clashed with Whitebeard. Whitebeard clashed with
says,
Gold Roger.
oh my god, this character's so cool. It's such a common thing in stories. Yes, this dude says he never seen it.
Harry Potter, they just went, holy shit, Harry Potter. He's adequate.
It's dummy what he's talking about.
It threw me off so bad that I had to check out. And I was pretending that those things are not happening.
You know, not those things. It's literally that one thing. And then when he saves the town, people are like, dang, I don't want to cheer for him, but that was super cool. They do not like him other than the women, which they've already established by the dude talking to his father that he's super charismatic. He steals women and makes a harem, and then the men go after him, and then he beats the men for fun. But he said the father was just like, but don't get it twisted. The women can leave at any point when they wanted to. All of these things were established before we saw the mother's face. So then they show that thing. What do you want?
Universal Instinct Goku, Angel Seed Goku,
Autonomous Dragon Force Goku.
Moms can't, no media literacy. They can't read.
Thank you for the super chat, Sun God Nico. And the first one, thank you. Every One Piece villain is introduced like this. Oh yeah, that's Arlong. Don't go after him.
What is he talking about?
Wait, that's Captain Kuro?
Man.
This is so goofy.
I wish we didn't start talking about Oden. This is what he's spitting.
Same thing with Pokemon, gym leaders and the bad people there. That was a bad writing decision in Ruby. Pyro is supposed to be a celebrity, Pyrrha, but no one gives a about her bad world building.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, they weren't writers, so we can excuse that.
Otherwise, it was impossible to read the chapter. Can you imagine if I did the same thing? Hey, this video that you are watching is the best ever. You are mind blown.
No, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Odin didn't do that. The people around him did that.
Based
So if-
upon his literal actions.
So if somebody had watched your video already and then they went,
No,
"Oh
Kira
my
said,
God, it's the
We hype
best!"
up Mahawk a lot and that Niga is a literal fraud.
He's not a fraud. We don't know that yet.
We're not starting this war with Mihawk Shanks, all that. Nah, not here.
He hungers for host says. He sounds like a 12-year-old trying to critique media. He knows that people hate certain cliches, so he assumes they're bad, rather than knowing how they're badly done.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's a good point.
It sounds like he's very young in the game as far as consumption of media. But what did he literally just say that I was talking about?
It'd be like watching this video.
Oh yeah, it'd be like watching this video. Somebody watched their video and then went, "Oh my God, he released a sequel to that video. It's so cool. This is gonna be great." They already know what your video is about. So if you release an expanded version of it, or you show up again, it's gonna be like, "Holy sh! It's that video."
Or it'd be like you sending your video to other people to watch it before you release it. And then those people going, "Yo, this video is super good." Because these people within this world know who this character is.
Yes.
So they know what his exploits is. So they know that he's super cool. So it's allowed for them to say that. Just like if you gave the video to somebody else, they're allowed to say that this video is good because they've seen it before other people seen it. Other people being us, the audience. We are seeing what Odin is, and now through the eyes of these people, they're going, "He's super cool." But we've already heard of his exploits.
Are mind blown. Everything that I do is epic. This is the best channel ever. Unbelievable. These things should be said by the audience and not by the author.
It's not about the author, it's about the character. And the characters are saying it because they know who the character in front of them is. And then the audience gets to learn about who the character in front of them is. And then the audience can say that if they feel that. If you're a Jinbei fan, I'm gonna freak the out because that's literally what happens with Jinbei. The whole world goes, "Oh my God, it's in Jinbei. He's so cool and strong and awesome." And if you go, "Yes, he's cool and strong and awesome based on the actions," then you should have waited for Odin's actions.
Which you get the very next chapter. And the action before that action was him eating over somebody's literal bones.
It seems like Oda was desperate for the audience to like this character for whatever reason. And
by showing a panel
of them going, "Wow, look at Odin.
Look
He's
how
super
cool
Cotton Candy Hope
Odin
says.
is."
Pavme telling someone how cool Cody the American Nightmare Rhodes is to someone that's never seen WWE.
It's hard to explain wrestling stuff.
It's hard to explain wrestling to begin with. Like, dude, Hangman Drake Swerve's blood. Like, I can't explain why that's cool.
was trying to put those words in their mouth. Here's how people in the story are reacting. You should do the same.
No, it's a dude. He took too much out of this
and then
one
he
little.
checked out, and then we see a bunch of his literal actions. Whitebeard sweats and goes, "Somebody strong is coming, back up." He survives an attack from Gold Roger. These are things that we see. I'm sorry, what do you want?
Go back. Oh, to the the author's trying to put words in it. Oh no, he's putting words in Oda's mouth because he's looking at it from his perspective of trying to create a
Cotton
unique
Candy Hope
character.
says, how do you even start to explain our truth to anyone that don't already know?
It's hard.
Oda was desperate for the audience to like this character for whatever reason, and was trying to put those words in their mouth. Here's how people in the story are reacting. You should do the same.
For whatever reason,
And the worst
Odin
thing
is
is that there was
protagonist
nothing
of
to
the
react
flashback
to.
as a hero getting people
Everything
to
was
like him, his
ordinary,
job as a writer.
just basic stuff.
Ordinary. He was eating food over the bones.
Yes. And they talked about his exploits where you're talking about at 6 years old, he went on a drunken rampage and nobody could stop him. That's putting in your mind that he is rebellious, that he's a good guy, because it was just like, there was a town that was under siege, but he went over there to stop them. He gets women, but they're free to leave, but he fights their husbands and stuff for fun.
He's super strong.
You give all this stuff with words, and then you see everything that they talked about essentially. He killed a giant boar, a boar that was the scourge of a town. They go, it ate hundreds of people in whole towns, but nobody was killed because of Odin cutting it in half. And the people went, that was pretty, I don't like the month, but that was pretty cool.
Because all of those dumb things, Odin became more like a sitcom character.
Pause. He has 2 examples. One of them is not an example. And then the other one is half the people going, this dude is trouble.
This means trouble, hide your wives and daughters. So this is the charming Odin from the rumors. They're first seeing him and they're going, hide the women.
Because this is something that he has been known to do.
What is the arrow showing us?
Where everything was handed to him. Nothing felt earned. He's the coolest guy ever. He's better than everyone around him. Okay, but why?
And then you learn why. Yeah. If you would just read one more chapter, you don't.
But he's literally checked out, as he said. So he's just going, now, Whitebeard, yeah, helping these weird freaks that just locked up on shore. Yeah, the boar. Yeah, helping all these misfits. Yeah, whatever.
Why is he cool? Why do people think he's cool?
Just because.
Just because!
Black dude on the bus gift. This muff is not reading.
This muff is not reading. This is not writing flames emoji on this script.
He doesn't know what cause and effect or setup and payoff is. He doesn't. He's not engaging in the media. So his criticisms come off as false because he's not looking at what Odin is doing, because at the time of the the Dancing Fool Lord, he's already checked out on him on his first chapter that he's on screen. Because people are like, this dude is cool.
Not related at all, but Just Stop has said that he would like to redo his fairy tale video. When he redoes it, would you watch it? I'd watch it, probably not for a revisited, but I would definitely check it out unless it was really bad. Really, the only problem I have with Odin is that it seems like he was just born top tier in the world, which really feels strange next to all the other strong characters in the series. Yeah, you could say that he just was born too strong in his era.
Yeah.
If you want to go that far. But like, he rivaled Whitebeard, and Whitebeard, for all we know, was just born strong. Gold Roger, for all we know, was just born strong. Who knows?
If Oda wanted for people to consider Odin as a legend, then he should have come up with something.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
The backstory of Odin that you're not reading and checked out of.
Yeah. The very next chapter. This chapter. What
is Odin meant to do?
What is he meant to do?
Do something epic, and the audience will consider him as a legendary character.
He did.
Even before the most epic stuff.
Who has clashed with Whitebeard and Roger? Garp, Sengoku, Odin, rocks.
PredatiXer Gaming XL says, man thinks he's writing Handfire.
Writing and fire.
Yeah, people bringing him up before the flashbacks as well. I don't know. They've already talked about how strong he was.
Does consider Whitebeard a legend, and that is due to Whitebeard doing epic things all the time.
When? When was he doing epic things?
Marineford.
Yeah, all the time. No, that's not all the time.
That was it.
The literal
arc that it was grand opening, grand closing, just like with what's happening with Oden.
The world literally went, holy is Whitebeard the strongest man in the sea? That was his whole thing. He clashed once with Shanks, and that was it. And then it was just like, holy Whitebeard.
And then we saw his actions, just like with Oden. But you're not talking about how we're literally seeing the actions of Oden.
Corey, I am not talking about
Of
theories.
course not, we're talking about them in Half Moon D-Clan boy rabbit time travel crap. No! Why would we have any feelings about that?
Just do the same. There's no need for that farce.
But he is literally doing the same because that's exactly what happened with Whitebeard. Everyone went, holy Whitebeard.
You get the hype, and then you get the actions to showcase the hype.
But unfortunately, that was not the only thing. One of the many things that I really liked how Oda tells the story is the narrator technique. It is so effective and so impactful. But the way it was used in the last chapter, wow, that was like a commercial rather than storytelling.
The greatest turmoil caused by a weeping Odin is something you will only witness once. Until the legendary hour and event passed down to future generations has come, please do not avert your eyes.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with that.
Commercial of what?
Like, stay tuned kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. But
oh, you mean like on that day the Straw Hat crew was destroyed?
I don't know what the problem with this is. No, there's not going to be a T23 month, so don't even worry about that.
There's not going to be a film month because there are a large portion of the people that watch us that could not give less of a about Phil.
Can you imagine if this technique was used in the same manner with Whitebeard as well?
During his death, and then it was during Odin's death? This is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is horrible.
This is unbelievable.
It would be something like this. Is your mind blown? Well, you should. This is epic.
Pause.
This character
That's not what happened with the thing that you showed before.
This is...
Make something that's comparable. Just be like, you guys aren't going to believe what you're going to see when Whitebeard steps on the field. That's what you need to say, not this is epic. You can't believe. That's not what happened there. You said, imagine if it happened with Whitebeard, and then you went over, if we want to use like a graph, say, you went over to 100. Where's the graph?
Oh yeah. What
was the purpose of the graph?
Maybe he'll tie it back in at the end with the graph. I'm confused. Did I miss something? From now he's talking about video was made, only the beginning of the flashback was out. He had, I think, like 11 chapters of the flashback was out.
There were 3 chapters left of the flashback by the time he released this video.
epic. Tell your friends how epic this is. And all of this is for just $6.99. And if you call now, you will get a 20% discount. I refuse to believe that was Oda's idea. There is no way a writer of Oda's caliber or any writer would do that. That is just pathetic. One of the reasons I believe that was not from Oda is that he has never done that before. So why start now? I think this could be because One Piece lost the #1 spot in sales. And the company is trying everything to regain the #1 spot.
It's the same company. Why would they give a shit? It's all Shueisha. Why would they give a shit?
Yeah, it doesn't... I don't think a single one-line blurb at the back of a chapter
for a character we're never gonna see again
is gonna help volume sales when it's a weekly thing.
And since they are not writers but businessmen, they have no problem sacrificing the story.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Literally. This dude is going crazy.
It is not just one company involved here. There are many. One Piece franchise is one of the most profitable in the history of the entertainment industry in the world, and not just in Japan. I'm not talking here just manga sales, but anime, merchandise, toys, video games, and many other things. And that #1 spot is very important for business.
Says, He is doing ASTUCKMEN.
There's no reason for me to live.
Naruto wasn't number one for a large portion of its time. I don't think they care when they keep just releasing new manga and games and stuff. They're still making a ton of money. The number one manga sales does not mean that you're automatically going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, Oda does not want his face out there.
Yeah, that's why I did this thumbnail side by side instead of top to bottom, because the thumbnail had his face in it.
While story-wise it means nothing. A story does not get better or worse based on sales.
So, you think Attack on Titan story, they were like, yo, we gotta get back to like number 3, so you gotta change some... You think some businessman came in and went, Oda, you gotta
write a line saying,
good.
get hype, y'all.
Or did
Popularity
he set up something that is to come as he has done for decades?
quality have nothing in common. In the recent interview that Sandman did translate of Oda, there he said that I don't like when things are revealed in the movie first and not in the manga. So much so that I lose interest in those storylines and I don't want to deal with them. Things are not looking good. And I'm not talking just from the business side, but even from Oda's side. He's doing some weird things that makes no sense story-wise.
Okay, sure. Whatever.
Oda likes to break records, which is great.
What?
Based on what?
Yeah.
Does he have an interview that says, I
like to break records? Or is he just writing and drawing and he breaks
Silver
records
Heart
and
Soul
go,
says,
cool.
Thinks he has background info, insults Oda, thinks he can write One Piece better than Oda. Is the Dritz under a different name and doing a voice?
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
It's the resurrection. It's the comeback.
We never left.
Sometimes he's breaking negative records.
What? That's the graph? Let me explain with his graph.
This mini flashback arc we are in right now, it is just a recap of things that happened before. This is the first time
It's a recap of things that happened before? No, it's a showcasing of things that happened that we did not see.
Yes, and now we are getting privy to that information. What the is a negative record? -12.
I saw something like this in a manga story. He did.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back to the whole thing.
This mini flashback arc we are in right now, it is just a recap of things that happened before. This is the first time I saw something like this in a manga story.
The past of the people that are...
The past of any character.
The past of the islands they visit.
Dressrosa, what happened to make Doflamingo?
Noland!
Everything that's a flashback. What is he talking about? That's a literal flashback. These events occurred and now we're seeing them.
That's literally what a flashback.
Predati Extra
You've
Gaming
seen it
XL
in
says,
this
My
manga.
nigga, what the fuck is a negative record?
Oda's records after this video down graphs. He hit it all into one graph.
That's cool. This is the first time I've seen this in a manga. All right, homie.
Not even the manga I read. I apparently read weekly. Currently reading.
Hard Voter Man says, This is the first time I've ever seen a drawing in a manga. I can't believe they've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. Bro, this is so
Arya
stupid.
says, He's never seen a flashback? This man has provably never read One Piece.
Provably. Or anything. He's never read anything. To be like, this is the first time I've seen events that have occurred, and then we're seeing those events. Go back.
I gotta go back.
I believe he said it. Maybe we're misunderstanding what he said.
This mini flashback arc we are in right now, it is just a recap of things that had happened before. This is the first time I saw something like this in a manga story.
It's just a recap of things that have happened before. So what do you think Robin's past is? Do you think that's happening in real time? Or is it a recap of things that happened before the moment that we're
Cotton
in?
Candy Hope says, I can't believe the 4th Hokage flashback. Just retold the 3 sentences that are on the first page of chapter 1.
Man! What is this?
It's an anomaly. That's what it is. Because that's what it's going to end up being.
That's not...
He did cut the Reverie arc in half. Again, this is the first time I saw this.
He cut the Reverie arc in half? Do you have any evidence for that? And number 2, are you saying that it's a bad thing that happened? Are you saying that's a good thing that it's happened? Are you saying that the time spent for this flashback could have gone there? What are you saying with that?
He did cut the final part of Whole Cake Island arc, and we still don't know what did happen.
What do you mean?
Even the Zou arc was just an aftermath arc. So that is the reason why I did stop reviewing the flashback chapters, because there is nothing new in them. I know
it is new! It's information you do not have, so it is new to you, the audience! We literally are not getting an explanation about that graph. It was so pointless. There's nothing. I can't believe that the graph is just gone. You can't be 100% either way, otherwise you're not a character. And he has not said if Oden is 100% either way and how he's not a character. Unbelievable.
To be fair,
he made the graph.
You fucking
dumb. And they say
you have nothing to say.
I know that One Piece is very long, and maybe some people have forgotten, but I reread the story constantly.
Predati Exo Gaming XL says, downward trend.
Downward trend. So surely you've known of flashbacks, yeah?
This really feels like new thing bad, old thing good.
My memory is fresh. Everything about Oden was revealed in the Wano and Zou arc, and for Roger Pirates, those things were
everything about Oden was revealed in that. So Toki was revealed in that. How Momo got 20 years into the future was revealed in that. How Kaido got his scar was revealed in that. I guess that didn't come at this time. No, it did.
3 Ps versus the graph oiled up. Who went its perk off?
Mother.
No, you didn't read. You are dumb.
At least Dritz explained the 3 Ps. I don't understand it. I don't remember it. It washes over me like oil. Every time y'all say what are the 3 Ps, BG remembers 1 or 2 or all 3 of them, and I just sit here silently as it just passes through my ears.
Promise,
and goes.
progress, payoff.
It's gone.
Jay says,
I could not tell you
this
what
guy
they
is
are
breaking
right
negative
now.
records in Animali.
You just said them. I don't care. So at least he did that. The graph was not only so ugly.
It was a terrible
It
graph.
was stupid, and he didn't do nothing with it. So I'm sorry, the 3 Ps are shaking it all up and down the street. and the graph is looking like Hank Hill.
You know, I would like to see a good video about One Piece is bad. Thank you for the super chat, Soul.
It's out there.
We just gotta find it.
And it's right here. And, you know, we had it before, and it was Why Won't Carrot Join the Straw Hat?
Those were good times.
No,
Simple
they
time.
weren't.
Revealed throughout the story. The only new thing was the name of the final island, but that was revealed in the movie, so technically there is nothing new. As soon as the recap chapters are over and Oda stops messing around, I will start doing reviews, theories, analysis. I cannot wait. I miss doing those videos. They are fun. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.
I cannot believe we didn't get the graph. I am so pissed.
We did
I was
get the
looking
graph. It
so
just wasn't.
forward to see what he was talking about with the graph. Unbelievable.
C says, guys, remember the One Piece is the friends and crew along the way.
Don't do this.
The grab.
That's got to be an anomaly.
Yo! How? Man!
Yeah, that's crazy.
DygoKnight time.
DygoKnight.
I'm tired. I'm done.
Dude, yes! Kind of just want to move on.
Baffling. Because it's another month it's just like that dumb Naruto video where he just makes up his own thing and then just everything is good or bad based on this. Dude makes a graph and then just disregards the graph. I love it so much. I love it so much. Look at this graph. Why Shonen main characters always have boring powers by DygoKnight. Shonen main characters always have boring powers. Naruto from Naruto, Luffy from One Piece, Goku from Dragon Ball, Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, Gon from Hunter x Hunter, Deku from My Hero Academia, Ichigo from Bleach, and many others have far more simplistic and less diverse powers than any other characters from their verse. They are all anime protagonists, have the most screen time in their own series. Let's find out why shonen main characters always have boring abilities.
So why do battle shonen main characters always have boring powers? Perhaps
I do not think that they always have boring powers. No. The worst that I can say is Ichigo, because his Bankai is just speed. Mm-hmm. And he just swings sword and he has a sword beam. It's whatever. But that's about all I got.
you may say that I'm being too harsh when I say their powers are boring, but there is a tendency for the main characters in shonen series to have very simplistic powers to say.
It's simple, boring.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said before, just because a character you find has a more interesting power doesn't mean the power that they have is boring.
It's all about what you do with it within the series.
Yes, this is DygoKnight, Neo.
Yes, this is DygoKnight.
There once was a piece. Tanjiro is worse than Ichigo.
All of Ichigo's powers
Predati Xer Gaming XL says, I never thought rubber could be a fun power until I saw Luffy.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fantastic. It's Superman boring.
When Ichigo gets the big horn mode, he can shoot a beam, but other than that, it's
Zero beam?
I don't know what it's called. I forget. But it's all just basically ebb. So I can say Ichigo is in the camp of he has boring ability.
Left, right, good night.
The least. And usually these main characters are in universes where the power system is pretty complex, but they feel very simple. When you compare them to other characters in the same universe, their powers feel kind of lackluster. So
it's not fair to compare anybody to Gojo.
Yes.
That's simply not fair. But you have a girl who can put a nail in you and then hurt your soul. That's her ability. It's 2 sentences at best that you can say about her. Now, obviously, you will have the people like Gojo where you just gotta go, all right, you got Jackpot or Comedy Man where you just go, okay, here's a graph where their abilities. But Hisoka has Bungee Gum, which is just a sticky ability that he uses to...
Why is his stretching good, but Luffy's is boring?
Oh, that's not good when you think about it like that.
let's go over a few examples here. Naruto is in a world where there are powers from every single type of element, all those weird looking jutsus, but everything he does is shadow clones and several...
I think Luffy was more fun pre-time skip everything now just feels like standard pistols and elephant cock guns, but it's starting to get better with G5.
I feel like there were a lot of times where he would introduce a move based on where he was. So you had the pinwheel, you had storm, that type of stuff. And I wish there was more of that again.
but everything he does is shadow clones and several different Rasengans. Goku only uses...
Okay, but he has different Rasengans. He has summonings, which for some reason you didn't bring up. He has Sage Mode, which introduces Frog Kata, which means that he doesn't have to actively punch you. He can punch like in front of you, and that still affects you. He can also sense people's chakra in that mode,
and he does have wind powers.
He has wind powers. He also has all of his Fox transformations, which if you saw in the Naruto versus Sasuke fight, he can use the arm to stretch out and grab him from farther away. This is going way too simplistic. And even within just the Shadow Clones thing, you can use them in an intelligent manner. Like when they got stuck in the sticky webs of the spider dude, he put all clones there as the dude was just like, there you are, poop, no, there you are, poop, no. He used that in a way that made it intelligent.
Or Kiba when he transformed with Akamoto.
So it's not you're and it's a sentence of all he does is this, but not what he does with it. And
now, if you want to compare it to Sasuke, who has like a bunch of Aijutsus, a bunch of lightning dragon thing,
it's objectively good.
You could say that he has more interesting jutsus as a whole. But then you can look at somebody like Temari, who just has she fans her fan and it creates wind and
slices. Like there will be people that have a million abilities. There will be people that have less than 10, but they specialize in them and they use them in unique and creative ways.
His laser beams. Ichigo does.
Hey, all characters in that series use laser beam, except when you got the weird ones like Moro, who just turned into laser beam
and hit. But that's not all he does is laser beams, because the Spirit Bomb is something different from the Kamehameha. He also has the intertransmission, which he used in the fight with Cell to get a big advantage. And that was when the moment it was just like, if I can't beat him with this, I can't beat him at all. He had to do that he had to put all of his energy into an attack, see that it didn't work, and go, I can't do anything else. How would he do that? By getting up close and personal with him with the instant transmission. So it's not just that.
Doesn't really have very complex powers.
Rekka has a very diverse moveset, but ain't nobody ready to talk about Flame of Rekka, and that's fine, because y'all, you don't deserve it.
Now he's talking about complex, but what's complex about Sasuke's big dragon jutsu? It's just a lightning dragon. What's complex about it?
The others, Yuji only really punches people using his power, and that's it. While other characters like Gojo are using the purple thing, where you combine the red and the blue, and the technique is very complex. Deku's...
You barely explained it. You said he combined the red and the blue. Ooh, why?
Yeah.
Just strong.
Gaming XL says, Luffy has a technique that he turns off his brain. It's so funny.
It's fantastic.
And fast, and that's it. I mean, I guess.
Okay, but pause. He's fighting a guy that is big muscles. In the class, you have a guy with a tail. You have a guy that shoots tape. You have a guy that's fast. You have a girl that can float. You have these 1 to 2 sentence powers in this world. It's not just him that's doing that. Now, you do have your Star and Stripes where she's affecting reality. But she dead. Oh, but she's not dead because she made the soul hole.
Yuji now has blood attacks and can attack souls.
Ew! Ew! Stop telling me about Jujutsu Kaisen.
But they're cooking.
I don't want to know about it.
Of how much it's cooking? Haven't you seen all the
anime of the year? So by that logic, Jotaro punches. Let's just ignore the fact that Star Platinum has high precision, amazing sight, suck up wind, and stop time. Yeah. You got the JoJo's. String is I can turn myself into string is a basic ability, but what she does with it makes it not very basic. It makes it more complex.
That alone, the Mobius, it's just like...
So you can write down basically any ability and just go, yes, that is basic. But then once you get into the series, you go, oh, she unraveled herself to fit through bars and stuff like that? Oh, that makes it a little more. Then, of course, you have stuff like, life. That's my abilities. And you can't say
the worst.
Gets a lot of different powers once he awakens the powers from the other inheritors of the All for One, but the series had already gone downhill after that.
That's not your point. Your point is that he has bad basic abilities. Boring abilities, sorry. Your point is that he has boring abilities. When he gets more abilities, shouldn't affect that because now he is outside of this. For most of the series, yes, he was
Silver
just
Heart
a
Soul
punch
said,
man, but he's
Question:
no
How do you
longer
feel
that.
about Jellopocalypse and his dubbing fiasco?
This is dumb to just be like, no,
Neo Arcadia says,
yeah, but no.
DABG, you don't get it. Yuji can defeat Sukuna with the left right good night.
You're boring.
It's foreshadowing in the peak of
fucking
iconic
dull.
shonen subversion.
You have
It's peak
nothing
perfection.
to say.
We ain't got
Just
time for that.
completely ignore things that literally contradict. He has 7 or 8 other abilities, and he just goes, yeah, but the series went downhill at that point. So what the
As far as the Jello Apocalypse thing, it was very dumb the way, if it's the person I'm thinking of, where they were kind of bad mouthing the dub they were part of, it's very dumb to do that because they probably just torpedoed their career off of that. Just dumb. Yeah, I don't. So he's moving the point of the series is now
Legitimate.
bad, so it doesn't count, I guess, even though he's doing the things you want him to do.
Go back a little bit so we can get all that.
Yes, sir.
Because my goodness.
Got it, sir.
No wonder why DygoKnight is a joke in the community.
The technique is very complex. Deku is just strong and fast, and that's it. I mean, I guess he does get a lot of different powers once he awakens the powers from the other inheritors of the All for One, but the series had already gone downhill after that. I mean, after All Might lose his powers, My Hero turns into a pretty crappy show. Luffy can just...
And now, that it makes
The
no
Almighty
sense
Hugh
when you're
Hansen
trying to
says,
prove a point like
Inuyasha has different sword techniques for different purposes.
That doesn't count.
no. Yes, he has more abilities and therefore is not boring and goes against my premise, but the series is bad. Fart noise.
DygoKnight is a Naruto rewriter. People have asked us, hurry up. People have asked
I was
us,
going. Don't tell me. to
No,
hurry
you
up.
like to be real,
No,
like,
because
you be
got nothing
waiting.
to add.
No, because you be
No,
waiting.
can I say
No.
this? You are now holding me up by saying hurry up. I had nothing to say more than what you could say.
No,
about
but
DygoKnight.
here's
You
the
got
part of
the
the
same
problem.
information.
Here's part of the problem. What will happen? He'll read the chat and look at something and try to see if he does have a point, and then he'll slowly start to like, you could have been ping, you could have been ping, and then came back and then did that. Then did it. So yeah, DygoKnight is a guy that does Naruto rewrites, and people have asked us multiple times to do those Daigo rewrites, including Kris and Corey. We'll probably just have them do it for a revisited instead of us. That noise. Do y'all like playing a right?
DygoKnight time?
Shut up! We're doing an actual video about him, not a rewrite, just an actual DygoKnight video, Kris.
Man.
Yes, we're not.
You're missing out on the rewrite.
We're not missing out on nothing.
It's a doozy.
I'm sure it's a doozy. That doesn't mean we need to do it.
Oh, come on. You did the Naruto. Not the Naruto, but the Dragon Ball Z rewrite.
See, here's the thing.
Okay.
People are always saying, oh, but you did blank, so why won't you do X? That doesn't matter.
That matters literally 0%.
It matter if we did.
This is
something
a
simple.
long going. What part is he on? On the rewrite? Yes. 34. So we would have to listen to all
Aries
of that,
Queen
not
says,
go into a specific
Kris.
part, because it's not like T23 where you could just hop in and just go freaking platinum and silver sale and then clap and then big reaction. No, it's all about on our last mission to the freaking ogre village.
No, let me say this. He'll rewrite something. Oh god, this is so hard. This is like he'll rewrite something if he don't agree with it.
Sure.
So, or he don't like.
Explain yourself, you baby!
The first arc, that's fine. He put something between the Chunism and the Zabuza arc.
Okay, but we can't just hop into that. We would have to
I know,
hear all of it.
I know.
So
Naughty
it
Goat
is a
says,
physical impossibility
Kris
to
Sweet.
do it.
Hey, I'm just saying, maybe that should be one of your, 8-hour stream ones.
What? 8-hour Daigo Naruto rewrite stream?
Come on.
The people, I don't care
I
what
didn't
the
say-
people
I didn't say
want.
about the
You
people.
pointed to the chat, Trent. You pointed.
I didn't point. I just kind of
You
like,
gestured to the. Don't say hi to him. Thank you for the super chat.
All right. Anyway, listen. Maybe you'll have. Listen. If I bring Corey in here,
Yeah, y'all can do it.
is it going to be? Well, no, it won't work. 'Cause we already saw them.
That's fair.
It won't work like that. If he
No,
put
that
out
won't
new,
work for us either.
if he put out a new episode, maybe when Corey had the time, maybe me and him could do an episode. Cause I know he's working on
Cyberman Wharf
episode
says,
35,
I would
but
watch that stream.
You don't watch the stream.
Y'all do the stream. It don't have to involve us.
Maybe when you guys have a chance.
There is no chance.
Maybe you guys got.
We're booked up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Completely full for the
Maybe
rest
you
of the year.
got-
Sorry.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I don't believe that. Cause I can't. I heard you guys conversation. What are we going to do today?
Hold you on a bacon and
Laugh like that.
What are we going to do today? Let me look up a meal real quick. Oh, there you go. No, I know how you guys work. That's how they work. That's how you
Mute
guys
the
work.
mic. Mute, get him out of here.
I know how you guys work. So maybe
He doesn't have superhero. We got sand walls.
So maybe
Y'all not busy. I know how y'all work. Oh, what we gonna do today?
Literally,
You can't even fight it.
literally knock on the door. What we doing? So you can't even say that. We're broke up for the rest of the year.
We're booked up for at least a little while. We are booked up, high key.
Okay.
Not for regular revisitors and streams, but for like extracurricular stuff. We are booked up right now.
Maybe
No.
a DygoKnight mug.
What?
Get out.
Hey,
We're
hey,
done.
hold on,
We got to get back to the video.
We gotta get back to the video, Chris.
All right,
You
all right.
you said your last.
All right. First week.
Just stretch, gummy boy, that's it. And gone.
But what
not-
does he do with that
Yes.
stretching? Because I think he does a lot more interesting thing than Zoro or Sanji or Usopp.
He uses his limbs to stop a dude from speeding all over the place and then headbutts him. Things that only he could do in that situation.
Yeah, Plague Race is cool. I've grown to not like his comedy so much, but his analysis, the analysis itself, is mostly solid.
Is probably the most glaring example of them all. Hunter x Hunter has the most complex magic system in any Battle Shonen series.
That's false. That's just false. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is way more complex.
Nen has so many different possibilities for
Oh
That
my
guy
God.
uses electricity. That is the beginning and the end of his ability.
I have a chain that can tie people up and attack them.
Predating or Gaming XL says, it ain't an ALX stream without a Kris sweep.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it is.
I have a finger gun.
With my exact conditions, I can steal your abilities.
varieties and combinations, but Gon is just...
Who did you just show there?
Sazin Buddha Satsu or whatever that is.
Yeah, the chairman.
Middlewood, yeah.
Who guessed? And it got cooked.
It is a big stand.
It is a big stand that punches a lot.
Big kaiju.
Explain yourself, you baby!
Gon's just like, I punch hard and sometimes I use laser beams. And yes, most of these characters have transformations as well, which will give them a better variety to their powers, but transformations pretty much...
Why would you show Goku? What better variety does he showcase with the Super Saiyan? Don't just show things and not have a point to showing them. Lots of possibilities plus complex equals good, apparently. Apparently, Daigo is awful.
A shonen staple. The powers in of themselves are very simple if compared to other characters in the same universe.
Pause.
Yeah, if you compare them to super complex characters, but you're not also comparing them to characters that aren't super complex. Okay, if you take the main character and then the people with the most interesting powers, the main character seems kind of simple and boring. What type of stupid is that?
So in the thing that he's showing, he is using an ability to outstretch his hand further in order to use the Rasengan. He is combining his simple abilities into something that gives him an advantage. How is this anything but good? In terms of what you're talking about.
I'll never forget this.
Why is that? By the way, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. It's free, and a lot of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, which is kind of annoying. So
I wonder why. If you introduce this as these shonen people have a boring ability, all Luffy does is stretch. If I'm a One Piece person, I'm not gonna listen to you if you're gonna boil it down to something like that when it's just factually, provably wrong. So you're wrong, so why would I subscribe to listen to more wrong opinion if I was a normal person? Us here at ALX, that is a possibility of which something we do, which is fine and whatever. But if I was a normal person...
Subscribe, it helps me out a lot. Well, first we have to say that it's not every shonen main character that has very simple powers. There are exceptions such as Edward Elric, even though his powers are not the most complex powers in Fullmetal Alchemist. And I'm pretty sure you could come up with...
So why would you showed one thing and then was just like, yeah, but not really. And I'm sure you can come up with more. You did one.
And then you say his powers aren't really the most complex. And other characters have more complex powers. Isn't that your argument against the other main characters? So why does it matter for Edward? Why does he get that?
Says, complex isn't inherently good and simple isn't inherently bad. It's all about the execution.
Yes, absolutely. But Daigo just doesn't seem to, for some reason, understand that.
Hey guys, 99% of my viewers are subscribed.
Question mark, shrug, shoulders.
Then what's the point of giving the example?
Other exceptions to this rule, but it is a rule. Now, the first thing we have to take note...
Everything is a rule.
And he didn't understand, he didn't explain how Edwards is complex. He just said that it was.
Is that
everyone has the same powers in Fullmetal Alchemist, you cuck.
Shonen main characters are usually not the quote-unquote intelligent type. They're going to be headstrong, determined, and a little bit dumb from time to time. That's not to say they're completely stupid. Naruto, for example, comes up with very good strategies from time to time in his fights, but is not...
Is that interesting?
What main character doesn't come up with interesting strategies in a fight?
Even Goku has.
Yeah. With the Kamehamehas underwater once he figured out that Frieza couldn't sense abilities. I mean, sense ki.
Book smarts.
The instant transmission Kamehameha.
And this pretty much applies to every single character that I've mentioned so far. This is a shonen cliche.
Dude. These audio cuts are driving me insane. Insane. These click. You can hear the literal start of the next recording. It's clear he recorded it, paused it, recorded it again, and then did truncated silence. So there's like, it doesn't fit correctly. Just listen to this.
It applies to every single character that I've mentioned so far. This is a shonen cliche.
This is a shonen cliche. This is a shonen cliche. What are you doing?
Can we just give this video a Hall of Fame for Anomaly and shovel?
Get out of here.
Main character is gonna be a boy of around 12 to 18 years old, and he's not gonna be the smartest kid in the block, but he's gonna have a lot of determination, and with the power of friendship, he will overcome the hurdles of his story. Now, this is done firstly because it's a formula that really works out, and I guess people really empathize with characters that are not too smart, and obviously there are exceptions for main characters that are actually pretty damn intelligent, like Light, for example, but Death Note is not a battle shonen. But when it comes to battle shonen...
Ichigo is intelligent. He was one of the top in his class, if not the top in his class.
I guess you could say Meliodas and Midoriya are kinda smart, but definitely not the smartest characters in their verse. Not even...
Do they have to be the smartest in their verse?
Or do they have to be not kind of dumb?
What are you arguing about?
Is Light even the smartest in his verse?
close, but they still have very simple powers. So the thing is that these very simple powers match these simplistic characters from an intellectual standpoint. Because they're not gonna come up with a 200 IQ strategy, there's no real reason.
They have several times before!
Luffy saw these people kicking off the ground and went, hey, I can do that too, and did it to use Gear Second.
Luffy literally went, water affects you, why wouldn't blood? We already noted Goku. You showed several of in Naruto. What the is this person talking about?
Bad. He's just bad.
For them to have a very complex set of abilities because it would feel out of character. So
these audio cuts, oh my god!
It would not feel out of character.
No.
If Naruto had a flame ability, I wouldn't be like, oh, he has a flame ability, this feels out of character. That's not his affinity. He uses his affinity. Like Sasuke uses his affinity.
Okiyatsu is an idiot, and he has one of the most broken abilities in the show.
it makes sense for their skills and abilities to be a little more simplistic than characters that are going to be very smart and strategic. But this is not the...
Like who?
Megumi is intelligent. His domain expansion was just, I'm gonna throw hands, kinda. If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen.
How are there 9 minutes left? Yeah, what is he gonna talk about? He's done did the thing.
Only reason why. When I say main characters from Shonen series have boring abilities, I don't even mean that their abilities are not complex enough. I mean that they're not diverse enough. They feel very samey. Naruto only bomb.
How does stretching feel samey to a sword that takes away magical abilities? That
I think he
magic?
means samey in that their fights are always going to be roughly the same because they're going to use the abilities over and over and over and over again. Naruto's always going to shadow clone Rasengan. Luffy's always going to stretch. So Goku's always going to beam. So on and so forth.
As opposed to who, though?
As opposed to what character?
What character doesn't have a win condition and a set of abilities to achieve that win condition?
But that's just my belief of where he's going with this. Bro, what does he want?
What?
Rushes people with his shadow clones and Rasengan.
Yeah, I was correct. That's all it is. The fights feel the same. You know why they feel the same? Because you see them a lot. If you saw the Sasuke fights a lot, just a bunch of Sasuke fights, it would start feeling samey.
If you saw a bunch of Shika fights where his game plan is I need to trap them first and foremost with my shadow, they would start to feel samey. Now, how he goes about that, that's where it becomes different. Just like how Naruto goes about things.
Harboderman says, the protagonist will always be the main character. It's Sue Samey.
Man, I'm such a fucking asshole redoing line reads so I can make them sound natural when they go from one to the other. I can just do what DygoKnight does.
Daigo has, I'm going to say too many subscribers.
100K.
100K. These main characters feel kind of samey.
See you later, Aries. Yeah, if the common layperson is not gonna hear this, who gives a shit? Pump these out, Gavin. Stop wasting your time trying to be good.
Says, Shonen MAME abilities are so boring. Shows Naruto holding multiple nuke level orbs casually. Cotton Candy Hope says, basketball players always gonna dribble and shot the basketball.
Yeah, shoot the basketball. I guess all sports are just boring. Senna's just gonna run.
Ippo just gonna punch.
Ippo just gonna punch.
Ippo gotta get in and punch. It's also opponent dependent. Because if an opponent has longer arms or quick jabs and keeps Ippo out, and he's a simple-minded dude, just like, I just gotta get in, how is he gonna get in?
Cyberman Ward
and it's the
says,
journey of seeing
the villain is always evil. So samey.
So samey. Ugh. They go against the
Ivana
hero.
Mary says, wasn't Luffy devil fruit so bad he had to work and think about how he could make it strong enough for me to be the king?
He just had to keep working at the things he does. Even Croc said it. You think you got a double of fruit, so you're just gonna be good. Like he had to come up with. Oh, sorry, I gotta hit play.
With his shadow clones and Rasengan, for instance, this is his strategy in pretty much every fight. Of course.
What is Sasuke's strategy? Because you show his cool lightning ability, Sharingan lightning.
I
have a lot
jutsu
more
lightning.
stuff. What is Kakashi's? When has he ever used the water dragon again after Itachi?
What is Edwards? The one you noted was not like the others. Alchemy.
It varies from time to time, but he always uses those same
Yo. It varies from time to time, but he always uses those.
abilities. Luffy.
No, if it varies from time to time, he doesn't always use them.
Words have meaning, so you can't just say it's all the time, except for the times that it's not. That it's not all the time. There's a word for that, and it's most of the time, or a lot of the time.
The majority of the time.
More times than not. There's other words that can be used in place of
Cotton
all.
Candy Hope says, Edward uses the arm blade in close to 90% of his fights.
Oh, that's so samey.
But not him. You should have been drinking.
He develops several different attacks with his stretchy body, but he's just stretching his body.
Unfucking believable. So mad. What character in One Piece are you talking about then? Because all they do is have their ability and develop techniques on those abilities.
Croc just hits people with sand.
And he takes away their moisture.
It takes away their moisture, but it's
Predati X or
sand
Gaming
blades
XL
and
says,
bumbling with sand.
Damn it, Ippo is bad Bekwase. It's just two niggas punching each other so
It's
samey.
just that.
It's just punching, so it can't be good. Shonen Pro Tag.
Goku
You're
shoots
showing an ability that's not a ki blast, DygoKnight. Something that you said that only Goku only uses. This is an air pause, which is different, DygoKnight. Why would you, DygoKnight, show something that goes against your point?
different types of laser beams.
This is literally not a laser
laser beam.
All characters in Dragon Ball use different types of laser beams. For the most part, not all. There are some noted exceptions. I mean, single-digit exceptions. Chopper just doctor.
His opponents. I know different Rasengan varieties don't really count. I mean, it's cool to see a magma-style Rasen Shuriken, for example, but in the end of the day, it's the same type of jutsu.
I think it
it's
counts
a Rasengan.
because there are affinities in Naruto. There's affinities in Naruto, so certain times a fire would be better to use than an earth.
What does Hisoka do?
This is crazy.
Because he noted that it was more interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
What does Sasuke do? Because all it is a Chidori that's shaped like a dragon.
Who is he talking about opposed to the main character? Maybe we'll get that in the rest
Ivana
of
Neri
this 8
says,
minutes.
Does bro want protagonists just pull out some random nonsense just for the sake of variety and not how it's utilized in the story? I'm so confused.
Croc, you can say the same thing. Oh, he just uses sand, and that's what he said about Luffy. But it's not like Croc is using sand and lightning and ice and all this stuff.
Oh my god, Aokiji is just using ice.
Usopp just shoots people. You can do anything with just this one sentence thing. It's about what they do. This dude is nuts.
Yes, Corey, this is a DygoKnight video. A regular one. You just missed the whole discussion with Kris.
But amped. And because of this lack...
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine.
Dude, these audio cuts. This is pissing me off so bad, dude.
Varia says, it feels like he wanted to make a video criticizing shonen protagonist powers, realized he has no real evidence and said, fuck it, I'm lying now.
Hey, if you're in the middle of making a video and just like, uh-oh, I am not cooking. You don't just start making imaginary food.
Maybe this dish is a wash.
Yeah, man.
And you just have to start from scratch.
Dang, I was gonna make chicken, but we don't have any kind of seasonings. You either make the chicken and it's unseasoned and it's trash like this video, or you just go, I guess I'm cooking beef.
Silver Heart Soul says, this man just wants Golden Age Superman. Ah ha ha. Rolling on the
Legit
floor
just,
laughing.
hey, let's make new powers a week.
It's the same type of jutsu. It's a Rasengan, but amped. And because of this lack of variety, the main characters can from time to time have stale fights that feel kinda samey and not that engaging. So
No, even if they feel samey, they're not gonna be the same because they're fighting different opponents. Yeah. You cannot say every fight that Deku has had has been the same as the other fight. His fight against Bakugo, his other fight against Bakugo,
His fight against Muscle,
his fight against Muscle, his fight against Overhaul, his fight against Gentle. You literally cannot say these are samey fights.
This is even before he gets all of his other abilities.
That doesn't matter because series bad now.
Why would so many different authors from so many different series in the shonen genre choose to make their characters kinda boring in that way? Well, it is easier to write characters with not a lot of different powers. If you start to...
So now you just want characters to have a ton of different powers.
So it's easier to write characters without a bunch of abilities, but they're gonna give the side characters a bunch of different abilities.
Pile up abilities, soon enough your character will be too overpowered and
no, because you can match it with the world. Yes, Giorno can do 50,000 things with his abilities, but that doesn't mean that he's stomping everybody. He struggles in all of his different fights, even though his abilities have such a wide array of things that he can do with it. It's not just stockpile abilities and therefore win, because if that was the case, Sasuke would be stomping. Kakashi would be stomping Itachi, but he wasn't. Again, he struggled against Deidara with Naruto right next to him. He's Kakashi with 1,000 abilities, but he's struggling against this dude that has clay bombs.
He's struggling against this dude that has water sword.
And missed.
To challenge him. This is a problem, for example, when you play D&D and your players get to level 20. I mean, it's really difficult to challenge high-level players. And it's the same thing for shonen characters.
Why would you use this T23 bush?
This looks just like a T23 bush.
Why are you using fan art?
And because the main characters...
The problem with Dragon Ball isn't the fact that characters have 50,000 abilities. It's just the power creep. Number go up. How do you beat the next person? Number go up. That's the problem. If you gave Goku all of Boo's ability, it wouldn't be like, oh, he's overpowered now, because the mangaka would just make another super strong person.
Corey, we don't cape for unseasoned chicken here.
Don't do that to that man.
He said unseasoned
Notera
chicken
says,
isn't bad.
Complex power system Goku.
Are the main characters, they're gonna have a lot of screen time, and therefore, if they have too many abilities, things will get out of control. It's one thing to give a particular villain a lot of skills, because this will make the life of your protagonist much more difficult. There are so many abilities.
Pain is an anomaly in that series.
So if Sasuke fights Pain with all of his different abilities, what changes? Is Sasuke automatically gonna destroy him because he has a lot more abilities? Abilities does not automatically equal this a easier fight or anything. It's just
or a more interesting fight.
I have more options to use. Doesn't mean that they're gonna work, because Kakashi's options did not work against Itachi.
That your protagonist has to deal with, things are difficult, and this makes for interesting storytelling. But if your main character has more abilities than the villain, then you're not gonna worry too much, and it won't.
Yes, you are, because they could counter it. They could just be even stronger than the opponent. Anything can happen.
Superman's arch rival is a normal human. Superman's arch rival is a normal human.
Giorno almost was killed by a guy that could turn things into ice. That is his one sentence ability. When Giorno can throw a rock and have that rock turn into an elephant in midair. He can turn bullets into trees. It doesn't just mean that you give them more abilities, it's easier.
or more interesting. Because I find Giorno's fights much less interesting than Bruno's fights.
Because if you put down a list of all the abilities that Sasuke, Karen, and
Angel Essence Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku, Spirit Saiyan Goku, Primal
you
Instinct
list
Goku.
all of their abilities and then look at what B was doing, which was just his swords and his lariats. You go, they all have more abilities than B, but they cannot match up against this person. Abilities does not automatically equal an easier or less tense fight, because the person could just be better or they have a way to counteract that.
I want to see how he writes Naruto in his story now. Thank you for the super chat.
If this is what he's talking about.
If this is what he values.
Too bad we will never know.
Challenging. I mean, yes, it is easier to write characters with less abilities, especially if they are the main character and they appear a lot in the series. You don't have to worry about a billion different things that the character could have done in that particular moment.
But there's not a billion different things that Sasuke can do. He can do like 6 things.
Yes. You don't give them something like a journal where they can have almost limitless possibility. You can do sub 15 things. You can shoot lightning from your hand. You can charge your lightning into the sword, fire, Sharingan. You can count the things that Sasuke can do. You obviously do not give a character a million different things, but Inaru cannot do a million different things.
Gojo can't do a million different things. He can do like 6 things. But you noted it as amazing because he's combining the red and the blue and all this. Even though if he were to get in a bunch of fights, you go, oh my God, this is feeling samey.
The opposite problem could happen where limiting could make a character feel empty when doing wrong. Yeah, it's kind of like with Doctor Strange, where he can do so many different things. So at any point in time, you just go, well, why doesn't he just do the teleport head cut off?
There are more reasons as to why the main characters feel simpler. Giving the main characters only a handful of iconic abilities.
Ain't no way. 6
Fighting
minutes
Gimmick
on the dot.
I'm one of the bigger
This man
advocates for
hit us
Naruto
with the
increasing his jutsu arsenal, but at the same time I really don't want any ass pulls with it.
There ain't no way we have never left from this situation. Ain't no way. That didn't happen. Handful of iconic. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Abilities will make them, well, iconic.
Oh.
I don't want to do the rest of this video. And we're not even halfway over.
What could he possibly talk about?
Because he's going to slowly drawl out and say the same over and over as he's been doing.
When you think about Naruto, for example, you instantly think about the Shadow Clones and the Rasengan. When you think about Goku, Kamehameha. When you think about Luffy, oh, it's the stretchy pirate. When you think about Gon,
okay, this mom clearly does not watch One Piece. He doesn't understand anything about it. Number 1, because he used that same picture like 3 times. Number 2, he couldn't even look up. He's so lazy, he couldn't even look up a punch for him. You know why? Because if he looked up a punch, he wouldn't be like, oh, this isn't his main punch, because he doesn't know if the Gatling is the Luffy signature punch. So he couldn't even do that. So he just goes, oh, we all think about the ability.
The stretchy pirate.
The Rasengan. The Kamehameha. The stretchy pirate. The giant kid. Mother.
So what are the handful of iconic abilities that Luffy showcased?
He don't know, but he knows that it's a negative to bring up Luffy with no evidence, so I'ma just do it. DygoKnight is trash.
6 minutes of DygoKnight is already in the garbage. What does iconic actually mean? Well-known, recognizable, famous? Iconic is things that refer to an icon. So Michael Jackson is an icon. The moonwalk is iconic because it refers to Michael
Notera
Jackson,
says,
the icon.
if only Luffy hit Kaido with a stretchy pirate, the arc would be 100 chapters shorter.
It's so iconic. This mom is. I can't believe how trash he is.
Dude, we're again not even halfway through.
I'm sick of him.
I don't want to do
MF Curry
another
says,
6.5.
DygoKnight is a huge iconic bum.
Factual.
Will he say themes? I don't think so.
No, this isn't the type of video.
Kenpo. This creates an identity to your series, a very recognizable set of abilities.
But what person could you not do that for? You go Gojo, he has a complex ability, but you in your mind, you just go Infinity, Purple, whatever. You go to Sasuke, you go Chidori. You look at any monk with a bunch of different abilities. There's gonna be an ability that they use most prominently.
Yes, and that you instantly connect with that character.
It doesn't matter. That's not the reason why they do it.
Your main character that instantly make people remember that series and have nostalgic feelings towards it.
Cyberman Worf says, this Luffy is just stretchy slander is absurd. Elastigirl, Plastic Man, Mr. Fantastic, there are so few stretchy characters.
But he doesn't watch and he doesn't engage in One Piece, so he doesn't know what Luffy can and can't do. So there's no argument there, but he is a shonen protagonist with a set ability, so I can still use him as a negative in this video.
It's when you see it again and again and again. The audience gets attached to the main character's abilities and they feel safe at home whenever the main character...
What? The Kamehameha does not make me feel safe.
Who is using the Kamehameha? It's like a warm blanket around me. Finally, Goku, beat Frieza with the Kamehameha. Oh, the Kamehameha didn't work? I'm no longer safe.
He did not beat Frieza with the Kamehameha, by the way.
No, he did not.
uses an ability you're familiar with. And also because the main character is going to have the most screen time in the series and they're going to have to solve all types of different problems with their powers, giving them...
I feel safe at home with Stretchy Pirate. Is this a tap stream? If I knew it was this bad, I would have set it up.
Daigo, this might be a soft bad category. Because this man getting there, he is pissing me off.
And we still have another 6 minutes.
Legitimately, how? He's crazy.
Different problems with their powers, giving them abilities that are simple but that work in several different situations is a good storytelling tool for your main character to solve different problems using the same powers but just using them in a different way.
Isn't that interesting to see how the character figures out how to use their limited amount of powers in different ways to overcome the obstacle that is in front of them? Isn't that way more interesting than a character that can just go, oh, I'll just use the X?
Here's this previously unmentioned ability that I have that can fix this situation in an instant.
I always sleep soundly with my spirit bomb nightlight. He technically did beat Frieza with the Kamehameha. No, because he didn't say Kamehameha. It was just a blast.
Yeah.
He just
the games call it the Angry Kamehameha.
But it's literally not. It is a key blast.
Yeah, I would not say that was a Kamehameha. I'd say that is just a key blast. But functionally, what's the difference between a regular key blast and a Kamehameha?
Naruto's shadow clones, for example, he uses them for pretty much everything. To create the Rasengan, to create the Rasen Shuriken, to train the Rasen Shuriken, to fool his opponents, so he does implement shadow clones, his staple ability, in many different ways. And the same thing...
Is he gonna talk about Luffy?
No.
Can be applied to pretty much every character that I mention here that has quote-unquote simple abilities. Because imagine if the author had to give the main character a different ability for every single problem he had to solve. Soon enough...
Oh, what does that?
Fighting Gimmick says,
want to.
Mofo says he wants variety, but his words speak of a basic isekai protag.
Oh, yeah.
Neil Lester says, sounds like he would like Kenshiro, or not because he just punched then used Ki Blast.
I don't know what he would like. But what side character has a different ability for every different fight?
Endeavor has fire powers, but when he uses Nullify Regeneration, it's great. just using what you have to make it
But
the
he-
youthful blast.
But he's just going, imagine they had all these different abilities. Nobody would do that.
But what I think he's about to say is that imagine if the author had to keep coming up with those different abilities. It would be hard to do.
But in what situation could that possibly come?
Like I can only use this ability once type of thing. So I have a bunch. Let's just say they have a ring, and there's 20 things on the ring, and they can only use that thing once.
Sure. But that is such a thing does not exist as far as I know.
Yes.
It might be out there, but it's such a specific thing that couldn't you say that it'd be good because it's unique and subversive?
Fighting Gimmick says,
And it keeps you on your
Candy,
toes?
you have to use variety in order to defeat me.
You got to!
Your main character would have a billion different abilities because he does have more screen time than anybody else. And
No, because for
Cotton
the most
Candy Hope
part,
says, but Ichigo is given a different race to belong to for every problem.
Yeah.
for the most part,
We're not talking about Ichigo. We can't.
protagonists get between 7 and 12 fights, like main actual fights. I'm not talking about little street bombs. So for the most part, you have 7 to 12 things you have to come up with. How many fights does Deku have one-on-one major fights? Not with his friends. I'm talking about against villains.
Muscle, Nagant, Overhaul. I'll count Overhaul.
Yeah, we'll count Overhaul.
Gentle.
We've got Stain.
Well, Stain, he was there with other people.
Okay, so we're not even counting Shiggy.
He was there with other people, but they weren't really in the fight.
We're at 5. The series is almost over.
It's definitely sub 8 because there's probably just some smaller ones that we're forgetting.
Like
Gash Bell. Who's bumping Gash Bell?
then he would feel absolutely overpowered. I know main
you
character.
can be overpowered and have one ability. That's what Saitama is. He's just really, really strong, and he's the most overpowered dude there.
You can have a million abilities and not be overpowered, like Giorno.
Characters from Shonen series tend to become absolutely overpowered by the end of the series anyways, but managing the writing of a character with
Is it overpowered if they still struggle? What do people mean when they mean overpowered? Because overpowered would have to speak to the average of power. You are way over it. Are they way over the average?
Notera says, Bakugo's first non-ally fight was against AFO after coming out of open heart surgery BTW.
Boy. And then he does this big old kaiju dumb big form and wipes out everything, and he just goes, well, I had the explosion and the sweat and it doubled in your mouth
and in my body, and now you're a baby.
Jurabot says, I do believe characters should be able to learn different abilities depending on if the series allows people to use different techniques like jutsu, the resources to do so, and the time to train.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't see why you wouldn't do that.
so many different abilities is pretty damn difficult. And this actually already happens a lot. Main characters do get more abilities than people give them credit for, but they just are not very well remembered because
Isn't that more than what you give them credit for? Because you said that Luffy is just a stretchy pirate. You're the problem.
author chooses to ignore them after they were useful in the plot.
Can you give some examples of this?
Let's take Naruto as an example because
he loves Naruto. All right, but let's see what he's talking about with Naruto.
my channel is mainly a Naruto channel, and it's the series I know the most about in the shonen genre. Naruto gets several power-ups that people don't really remember that well during the entire series. Sage Mode is a very good example.
He uses Sage Mode with his chakra cloak. There's a 6-path Sage Mode. It's a literal form that he uses. He uses it in the final fight.
Yeah.
There are several things Naruto does in Sage Mode in the fight against Pain that he barely ever does again in any other fight. The way he uses a Shadow Clone to recharge his own Sage Mode is only used once in the very last fight of the series against Sasuke. He also uses Furakumite.
When else could he possibly use that? He would have to set that up.
Punches the air and hits the opponent. He only uses that one more time in the series, and it's a very effective.
So he does use it other times. How many more fights did he have after Pain? To where he could use it.
Yeah.
Harboderman says, saying shonen genre is like saying animation genre. It's not a genre.
Where it's fine. We're not talking about that. We've already considered this man a fool. Let him do it.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. But he goes, the author and the audience forgot about him, except for the times that they are used. So they're not forgotten.
They're just not overutilized. Like, you think they should be used in every single fight from now on.
No!
Jutsu that could have been done several other times and been very useful.
Win!
He also uses a lot of summons with stows during that fight, and he almost never uses them again. Fukasaku and Shima.
When should he?
Yes. What is a frog gonna do against Obito and Madara?
Powerful summons that Naruto only uses one time, in the fight against Pain, which is kind of a waste because they're pretty cool characters, and the Sage Mode powers are pretty much forgotten. And
what do those frogs do? What makes them powerful? How could they have been used against the fights that he had after that, which was the Raikage, the other Jinchuriki, and then essentially Obito, Madara, Kaguya, Sasuke? When? What do they do? How could they be useful? You know about the series. Talk about it. Don't just say they're strong and he ain't use them. Why didn't he use them? Did the things that he used, were they effective? What could he have used this in place of those things? Anything! Daigo?
We've got 4 minutes left.
Say that Sage Mode is kind of forgotten because Naruto eventually masters Kurama Chakra Mode, which is more powerful, but after that he's able to combine his Sage Mode with the Kurama Chakra Mode after, several hundred chapters, but still, doesn't use that many powers from Sage Mode in that state. And it's...
When should he?
What could he?
The character would simply be too powerful and too convoluted to write. And then
you named the frog kata as a thing that he could do. You named summons that he can do outside of Sage Mode. What more could he...
You mentioned a punch that hit the air next to them.
That's the frog kata.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
But what else could he... What is the overpowered Sage Mode abilities that you're just like, well, why did he use them?
Even worse with Naruto when he gets the powers from the Sage of Six Paths, because he gets access to the chakra of every single tail beast. 9 different beasts with different nature transformations, different abilities with so much variety.
But then you said that it don't matter because it's just using a Rasengan. So it doesn't matter that he has all of these different Sage nature chakras anyway, because it's all just infused in a Rasengan. He doesn't shoot fire from his mouth. It's just a Rasengan. So him getting it doesn't matter because you've already disregarded it, Daigo!
PredatiXer Gaming XL says, I am trying to let him microwave, but the food is still cold in the middle.
It's like a hot pocket. It's either lava or it's in ice.
Oh, so hot. Next bite. Jesus Christ, I need to let it cook.
Only uses their powers a couple of times, and usually when he does that, it's just a new variety of the Rasengan and Rasen Shuriken anyways. But then Kishimoto kind of forgets that Naruto even has those powers in the fight against Sasuke, for example, and Sasuke also doesn't really use all his powers in that fight anyway. It's a very simplified version of what that fight could have been in the end, but it's to make things a little bit easier. You kind of quote-unquote forget the buffs.
So if both of them use all of their abilities, then they're essentially on the same tier as well. It's not like Sasuke is using all of his abilities and Naruto isn't, and therefore Naruto is on the back foot and you're like, why isn't he using it? Both of them are using 70% of their abilities, and then you're just like, well, it makes it easier. But if they were both using 100%, how would that not be easier?
So Kishimoto went from showcasing 100% of their abilities and then went, it's just easier to do 70% now.
It's just easier to have 6 different Fox avatars punching him.
So he just did the thing, and now he's not going to do the thing because it's easier to just not to do the thing.
Naruto is also not trying to kill Sasuke.
extra powers your main characters got along the way, because it would have been pretty difficult to write a fight where Naruto uses all of the powers that he had gotten during the war.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He could do it, and then Sasuke can counter him, or it can get hit by it.
And because
Nami the
Sasuke,
Goat says, Samurai 8-month when.
it's impossible because there's no videos for it. But Sasuke gets all the Biju abilities, and then he starts using those. So it's not easier because he gets all of those nature chakras and stuff like that. He means it's easier because Kishi's a hack. Of course he uses a
Samurai
hack.
8 is underrated.
What? A month ago? Okay, it was a month ago. That's why I didn't see it. That video doesn't exist, and I'm gonna quickly forget about it because I would have to read 40 chapters of Samurai 8 again, and I simply can't.
Did Samurai 8 deserve to be canceled?
We don't know that because we don't know if it's a positive or a negative because it's just going off of the title.
From the Tail Beast and then the Sage Move powers with the Kurama powers. Could it be done? Yes, absolutely, but it's more difficult. It's much easier when you don't have to deal with those things with the main character, but if you take somebody else from the Naruto series, Sasori for example, a character that has one big fight and dies, he had so many different powers and abilities with several different layers for his strategies and just an insane...
Because he had different puppets that can do different things.
Yes.
So if he needed a fire puppet, he can make that fire puppet. But then you look at Deidara, and what did he do? Spider bombs, bird bombs, snake bombs, and then he made himself into a bomb. Yes, you can talk about people that have a billion abilities, but then you're not talking about the people within the verse that has a set amount of abilities and uses them to the best of their abilities.
Variable arsenal, he uses all that in one single fight because Kishimoto knew that was going to be pretty much...
It's not that it's unreadable, it's just that it's draining.
It's not something you should want to read.
It's just foot on the pedal because I think it was like chapter 12. It was just like, you're the chosen one, you're going to save the entire universe. I was just like, great.
Because he knew it was cooked.
The only fight he would have in the series that he had to use everything, and he was a villain, so because he had so many different powers, it would be much more challenging for the good guys to beat him. How if you contrast Sasori's abilities to Sakura's abilities, the one fighting him, Sakura, she could punch hard and heal people. That's pretty much it. You can see the disparity between the villain and the good guy character, Sakura, in this situation.
But then you look at Kisame, what can he do? He can make water, he can use water, he can swipe with his sword and steal your chakra. He can turn into a big shark.
What could Zabuza do? Gaara does sand.
This dude is a hack.
Now, Sasuke had more complex abilities, especially in Naruto Shippuden, but still, as I mentioned before, Kishimoto forgets a lot of the abilities he got along the way in the fight against Naruto.
This seems like he just wanted to cry about Naruto.
Yes, because he knows about Naruto. But he doesn't know, he doesn't say what abilities he forgot, though. You can mention a Rinnegan with all of the abilities of like, soul sucking and all that bullshit. But he didn't. He just went, hey, he forgot about a bunch of abilities.
In the Valley of the End. He's definitely not using all his Rinnegan powers, and you could excuse that saying that Sasuke wasn't proficient enough because he'd just gotten his Rinnegan, but still it feels kind of cheap that he wouldn't use a lot of stuff there.
But you just made the excuse of not doing it.
Very interesting to have a battle shonen with a main character that's very strategic with different powers and variable abilities. One show that does that extremely well, and it's not exactly an anime, but I'm gonna mention it anyways, is Avatar, because the main character, the Avatar, has more powers than anybody else in the verse. He is a master of all 4 elements, while other people only master 1 element. So he, by default, has more powers than everybody else.
Dragon Instinct Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku, Dragon Instinct Goku.
It really is fast these days. Don't you know Madara is allergic to frog? He's cooking.
Then you should have used it.
He should have used it.
And use so many more combinations, cool combos, and abilities than everybody. Aang certainly had.
Hey, Katara was fake beasting in that series, and all she do is water.
Yeah, what is your point here?
Because he inherently has more abilities, so it's inherently more interesting.
So more abilities is interesting. Less abilities can be more interesting.
But it's boring because it's simple.
But more abilities, you just said that if you give your main characters 1,000,000 abilities, it's gonna be stale.
Has way more variety than any other character in the verse. He does have a lot of those shonen traits, but he is pretty intelligent and uses his extremely diverse arsenal of abilities
Yavinus
well.
Lightning says, Black Clover. Before Asta became broken, he constantly had to find a way to get in and play with his sword.
Absolutely.
But he's not talking about that. He's talking about Naruto, and he's not even talking about Naruto.
Most of the time, at least. Avatar is a great series. The way it handles the abilities of the main characters is great. The way it handles power creep is great. So battle shonens should take note of what Avatar has done. I mean, not Korra, because Korra is absolute garbage. But The Last Airbender is goated. I mean, if you compare Avatar to most shonen manga, it's pretty much the reverse. The main character has the most complex set of abilities. If you compare it,
It's not complex. He just has the most. Everybody has the same abilities. Everybody has an earth ability. Everybody has a fire, water, air. He just has all the most. Every.
But he can't even do things within that bending that other people can. He can't metal bend. He can't blood bend. He can't lightning bend.
Oh no, people are going crazy for the Korra hate.
I'm not gonna touch that Korra stuff because I don't remember too much. I just remember that I really liked season 3, and I liked the villain of season 4.
to the other characters, and it's gonna be the opposite in shonen anime because the main character's gonna have the simplest abilities. So yeah, Avatar's pretty damn good, man. Just really worried about that live action adaptation. I get a feeling it's gonna be absolute trash. Anyway, subscribe to this channel if you haven't so already. Like this video to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Please do that, it really helps. Watch this other cool video right here, and thank you so much for watching.
That's all of fame.
That's all of fame. He's horrible.
He's horrible.
I'm sick of him.
Already? It was only 13 minutes. How could you?
Meme Spice
you were
says,
sick in 6
okay,
minutes.
time for a bit of Mark's Nami video.
No. We haven't done questions in a while. We'll do some
He
questions.
decided that was his fault.
Did you want to do some of the Nami?
No.
Okay, then.
I just don't want the blame for not doing the Nami video.
Oh, okay. So you want the cake and to eat it too. Okay, cool.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, in his defense,
No, Chris,
Nami the
you
Ghost
can't
says,
be up here.
This
No,
nigga
let me
stinks
say
for
this.
that Korra take.
I highly doubt he watched more. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, he's trash.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then don't bring up the anime. And I
Cotton
know
Hope
he
says,
watched all
it
the
took
ones
me
he talked about.
345 chapters to understand the character of
if
Nami.
you're talking about
Don't do
all
that.
the way you talking about, I think it's about.
Then don't bring them up. I don't doubt he's watched Dragon Ball.
Also, I think he made that video because the Naruto rewrite, he got a lot of character bullshit.
He gave him a bunch of boards.
So, hold on, let me say this. This is more.
No, we're just talking about how quick it's going. Thank you for the super chat. So
Let me talk about the Naruto rewrite. You remember how Haku could do the one-hand jutsu? Guess who he gave it to?
Gave it to.
Yeah.
did he give it? to
No,
Naruto?
explain that point before explaining who he gave it to. Because how you can give it to somebody? It seems like something that you would learn more than.
No. He's saying who DygoKnight gave.
Oh,
it to.
who he also gave that ability to. Okay, I thought you meant it was kind of like
No.
Obito being like, "Take my eyes, Kakashi," but only for 5 minutes.
No. He gave it to Sasuke.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when Naruto and Sasuke fought, Sasuke, this is so stupid. He
Doing
was
those gang signs.
He was doing 2 one-hand signs.
Oh! Yo, that's horrible.
No, it's actually really bad. I don't understand it. I never understood that. So he was so he like
Two one-handed
so he
signs.
like fireball jutsu, lightning really.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Also, he gave Naruto a bunch of wind jutsu for no reason.
Because it's his wind thing.
It was outrageous. That, oh my goodness. And he do like, oh my goodness. D rewrite, when they have fights in them, they're about an hour.
What?
Because it's explaining what the fights are. So you got, and he dodged, and he dodged, and
I remember which one was it? It was on your birthday, Pope.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a like our 50 boy.
Oh.
It was Jiraiya versus Sasuke. I'm like,
Oh, what?
it was outrageous.
What is he doing over there on that channel, dude?
Yeah, it's not.
What
Well,
is he doing?
it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yes, it's fascinating. Like a fake plane crash is fascinating.
And you immediately you know who his favorites are and his least favorites are.
Sasuke's his favorite.
Sasuke is definitely one of his favorites.
Yep.
Naruto, he's about 50-50. That I'm honest with that one. Hinata, oh boy, the ball sucking on her.
Oh no!
Outrageous.
No.
It'd be like a whole episode based on her. I'm like, hey yo, wrap this up. What is going on? So it's like, oh my goodness. And he didn't use in the time skip,
Mhm.
you know how Nada wear the hoodie and whatnot?
Yeah.
He gave it Naruto the last outfit.
Mean Spice
for
says,
her
"Now you got to listen to the
her
Nami bit a
boobs
bit. I
are
just did, and I
bigger."
only got to
That
19
is
seconds
his
in."
exact reason. To
Yeah,
give,
boy.
I'm like, hey, yo, come on, man. it's some things. It's actually really funny to watch, but like at the same time, really like so annoying. Like his wake off on.
I don't care about what's going on in DygoKnight Bush. I don't want to hear about it.
Listen, I'm giving you.
I don't want to hear about it.
The backstory. Also, we don't know what language they speak or where he's from, so it's like
It sounds very like South Africanish to me, but because he speaks a lot like Elon Musk speaks.
Even if it's already been decided.
Chris, leave so we can watch Mark's Nami video. That's super chat. Thank you for the super chat. We're not doing that. Thank you.
you hear it?
Yep. See ya. What do you think of Megamind 2? Never saw it.
It out, not right now.
What do you think
I
of
haven't
One
seen
Piece
Megamind
movie? Baron Omas. I did not watch it.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I need to go back and watch the first couple of ones.
How do you feel about the Crunchyroll Awards? Personally, it was filled with robbery and fraudulent picks. It's a popularity contest. It's always going to be that. Whatever's the most popular is typically going to win. We saw some clips of Triggered watching it. That man cares about cartoons. I don't care what he says.
He doesn't care when it's convenient. But yeah, it's not worth talking about because if, like I said, if 50 million people see Jujutsu Kaisen and 1 million people see Tomo-chan as a girl too, what do you think is going to get voted for? It's a voting thing, and things get voted for. JJK won 9 awards. You think that they deserved them? Best opening and best ending? Come on now. So I don't really care about it. But a YouTuber that I like has a video about it, and I'm gonna watch that after this.
When are we gonna watch Ragnar's End again? We're not.
I don't know what that is.
That was formerly Gohan T23.
Oh.
We're not. There's only one king. Wow, people really want that Nami. How would you rank these forms from best to worst? Sage of Six Paths, Naruto, Devil Union Asta, Gear 5 Luffy, Fairy Heart Zeref, and Final Form Ichigo.
Final Form Ichigo is at the bottom because it looks trash and it's
Yep. Fair.
I just don't.
Final Form
Silver
Ichigo.
Heart Soul says, "BG never, and I mean never forget the triggered prayer."
We're gonna go Final Form Ichigo. We're gonna go Fairy Heart Zeref. We're gonna go Devil Union Asta. We're gonna go Gear 5 Luffy. We're gonna go Sage Naruto.
I'll put Gear 5 over Sage.
Okay. Who ate the last pizza?
That's really up to whoever's in your house.
Did you listen to the Schoolboy Q Blue Lips album? No, I haven't started it yet. I have a friend that listened to it. They said it was fantastic. Why are you scamming us? Never scam, never will. Except when I do. Have you read or watched Hitman Reborn? Oh, no.
Chris has. And he loves it.
Don't come back in here. What is your favorite Pokemon anime? Mine is XYXYZ. I fell off Pokemon after second gen.
I fell off Orange Island Indigo around that time.
So mine is, of course, going to be the first one. What is your favorite Pokemon movie? Mine is 8. I fell off after, so 1.
The second one.
Have you seen Power Rangers? If so, which is your favorite? Seen up until Lost Galaxy, the end of Lost Galaxy. Probably Ninja is my favorite.
Zeo
was cool. Zeo was cool. Will you do a Goku T23 Goku tier list?
How?
That could be interesting.
How?
Actually. That could be interesting. Actually,
how? We watched the Tournament of Goku. I couldn't tell you any of their abilities.
We don't need.
They're
the
too
abilities.
basic and boring.
We don't need the abilities. We
Meme
just need
Spice
the
says,
designs.
"Get this, Nami was Mark's deciding factor to keep reading One Piece."
Unbelievable.
He sucks.
It is believable.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
What do we have to do to get you to read Jujutsu Kaisen?
I will read it on my own
Yep.
when it's finished.
I'm probably gonna marathon it after I finish catching up in Aroma. I'm probably gonna marathon reread it, just to catch up in it, because it seems like it's gonna end soon, and by the time I do all of that, it might be over. Maybe I'll read one more thing before it. Y'all gonna watch Kung Fu Panda 4? I would have to watch the first 3.
Yes.
Do you think the Switch can be the PS2 lifetime sales record? I don't think it can if the new thing is just Switch 2. Because at that point, why would you still want or need a Switch 1? Now I can see it if they cut the price a lot of that and it became like $150, $200. And then it's just like you've got the old version of it. You can play the older games. Some of the newer ones coming out, you're not going to be able to play. I could see that, a parent giving it to a kid for a quick birthday present, what have you. It's possible. I just don't think it's likely.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any huge spikes in Switch sales. I think basically anybody that has it is the ones that wanted it.
Is your favorite character Ukon?
You know the answer to that. You know we Ukon stands around here.
Thoughts on One Piece opening 26? Personally, my favorite. I liked it.
It's very, very good. That man hitting nothing but peaks. But I feel like I don't want them to overuse them because it's a bit weird. Okay, first opening, make 100% sense. Time skip. Yep, get it in there. It makes sense to come back with a whole new one. Wano. Why bring him back for Wano? And then I think it was one intro in between Wano, the one that he did for Wano, and this one. It's like it's a little bit too soon. It should be for a big oh, here it comes type of moment. Like the last arc, they should have brought him back but it's still very, very good. I just feel like they should have just limited it a little bit.
Full 10 for Fishman Island. Write it down for homework.
I think we're in Ennis Lobby.
We might have been in Ennis Lobby. Have you read Berserk? No, but it is on my list of things to read. It's one of those things I will read.
It's still on the list.
It's one of those things I am going to read this year. I am going to read Berserk.
Kill it. Like I always say about Berserk, I know too much about it, so unfortunately the big moments will not hit as hard for me. So that's just my only hesitation.
What do you think of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off? I haven't watched it. I already know the twist of it, but I haven't watched it yet. I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it though. When is another bad movie day? I have Sundays off now because football's over, so expect one not this month because we've got a lot going on, but maybe sometime in April. Maybe when Madam Web gets on streaming services or other services. Maybe we'll do
a good enough bootleg. I'm sure they could just come in there with a full professional setup and record that ring lights and everything. It's empty in that bit.
What do you think of doing Spider-Man month? It's just not enough Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, and that's just way too limiting. It'd have to be like a superhero month.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah. Which I think was on the list of things that could be voted on.
Definitely.
Have you ever been accused of stuff when getting backlash?
Like being an ist or being an ism or doing an ism?
Yeah, that type of stuff, no. we've gotten the whole you're not reading the series, you're not listening to their points.
You don't understand my points, but nothing.
There was a fairy tale one recently that was just talking about, oh, just another hater of fairy tale.
Did you watch the video? I don't need to watch the video.
And then by the end, they were like, oh, I watched the video and I agree with a lot of what you said. I thought you were just a hater. Sorry.
Piss and vinegar.
See, if it was you, Mose would have been like, you dumb cuck.
Nope. Because I begin with what are your points? Not this general stuff. Let's talk about point by point stuff. Do you have any points for us to talk about? Then it would have been cuck stuff.
Have y'all read Vagabond? No, but it is on the list. Have you? Hey, tell you what. I'm gonna catch up in a Rumakun. I'm gonna put it to the Discord. What is the next thing I should read? And I will read that thing. Don't care what you vote for. It could be platinum.
Did you do your videos that movies people recommended?
Yes, I did. Okay. Oh. Actually, so I'm gonna do that again. So every 3 months, I'm gonna review the 3 videos. So in this month, dang, it's probably gonna have to come out in April now because I'm gonna be writing a lot. But I'm gonna be reviewing them. Maybe I'll do it once a quarter instead and just do 4 videos instead of 3. But I'm gonna review all the movies that were recommended to me in that big I'm gonna watch 12 movies thing. Don't expect in-depth ones. Don't expect. I can't even speak on that yet. Sam Raimi, The Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel and Spider-Verse movies ranked from favorite to least favorite. Also, Black Clover arcs ranked from favorite to least favorite. I think we did that Black Clover one already.
We've done the Black Clover.
But we could definitely do the Spider-Man films.
Going on homework.
Thoughts on the Sonic X Shadow Generations trailer? You excited for it? I loved Sonic Generations. This seemed like just an expansion of it, which should be fun.
Get a better name, because if you look up Sonic X Shadow, you're gonna get some other stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna get cooked. Have y'all read or watched Trigun? Yes, we've watched Trigun before.
Not read it, and I have not seen the new series.
I started reading Vinland Saga, and I stopped reading it after like chapter 20, so I'm gonna reread that at some point.
It's on the list.
What is your favorite game series? You know what I mean? Mario, Spider-Man, Batman, probably Resident Evil.
Probably Kingdom Hearts. They have one game that I don't like and a couple that I don't really care about, but consistently game series is probably it. I can't say like the Musu games because a bunch of them are just trash.
But at the same time, there's quite a few trash Resident Evil games, but they're so good. The ones that are good are so
it's objectively good.
That it's objectively good that it doesn't really detract from it when I watch when I play a version of it. Like Resident Evil 6 was trash. Thoughts on Editor?
One of my favorite villains.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's happy. I'm happy he achieved his goals. He does not need to come back.
And it's a worry that he's gonna come back.
I don't think he is. We're getting to the finish line. He's not popping down into Earth in the end. It's like, hey, yo,
half of the stuff has been about the moon.
Sure, but what can you do?
We talked about it before with bringing down the moon or a chunk of the moon. What was BG, have you played the Ruined King game? Not yet. It's an RPG, and I am already juggling 2 RPGs, so it's gonna take a little bit of time there. Any plans to go back to the Cosmonaut mines? There's just not a lot to do there.
There's a couple on the list, but there's not. He doesn't really do anything that I really care about.
It's objectively good.
He does a lot of quickies nowadays, so that's not really anything that we can do. Because he doesn't explain himself. So what could we do? He just goes, "This is bad."
Oh God, this is the big stupid. Yeah, man, so bad.
What would it take for us to do about Art Month?
Explain yourself, you baby!
Explain yourself. How could we do about Art Month? Find me 2 videos going, hey, yo, about art. We can
And
do
it's
it because
good.
reasons.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But what else could we do? What's the month in your eyes, Jay? Go ahead. Let's hear it. It ain't happening. We can do a Mark month. A Bound Arc month is literally impossible unless we put out 2 videos and there's nothing else.
The first video I saw is Bound Arc is worse than you remember.
And it was by me.
Secret channel, y'all.
Yeah, it's just not possible is the thing.
Yes. Do you have...
Most have to be possible. We can do Naruto month. We can, if we got into Berserk, we could probably do a Berserk month with all the Griffin was right, Griffin was wrong, all that other stuff. But a month like that is a physical impossibility.
Do you have a pixelated RPG that you recommend? There's one a while ago. I think it's Cosmic Star Heroine. I f***ing love that game. That's the one I would recommend to people. You have nothing.
Yeah. No, Octopath.
Oh, you played one?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
I really like that.
Have you guys played a Soulsborne game? And if so, what is your favorite boss? I have tried multiple of them. I cannot get into them. The closest I got into them was Bloodborne. But it's just not a game series for me, unfortunately. I'm going to try Lies of P eventually. Maybe that'll click for me. But I got nothing for you there. Have you seen the live action Percy Jackson? Have you seen the Avatar The Last Bender live action? No for both. I will see the Avatar one at some point. I will see the Yu Yu Hakusho one at some point.
Percy Jackson has just kind of passed me by.
Yeah, it's too late.
It came out, I think the first movie came out around the Harry Potter craze.
Yeah,
And-
like book 4, like movie 4 or 5.
And when you're a fan of that and you got a derivative, my mindset was, whoa, why would I watch the copy if this is the good one? Ew.
DA, what did you think of the new My Hero Academia chapter?
I think it was on break this week.
It was on break this week,
Yeah.
so probably last week.
Hey, I talked about the last one last week with
Yes.
with the additional soul hole. And,
Yep.
I don't remember it because I forget them so frequently. But yeah, stop it with the soul hole. Yeah, I don't remember it. Bakugo, Deku stuff happened and he tried to give away his quirk and then a bunch of more fingers and he couldn't get fingered and whatever happened, it happened. And it sucked. I cannot wait for this because I want this to end more just because, not because I'm sick of reading it.
Yeah.
Not because I'm sick of talking about it.
Because you
I
want
just
to talk
want to
about
talk about it. I just
In
want to
one
have
big thing.
the completed picture. Because we got 8 puzzles and we're doing all the puzzles and it's slowly coming together. Like, okay, that one's biting and that one's a waterfall, but I want the complete picture. I want to talk about everything so badly.
And
And I can't.
We're probably a good 6-7 months away
I don't
from
think so. Like I said,
with these breaks.
My whole thing was always June, July.
Yes, that's oh yeah, we're in March. Jesus Christ. I don't think it's that quick. Oh, maybe.
He's pumping his holes.
I'm scared that All for One is gonna separate from him and become a new being.
No,
and it's
that's
gonna be Deku and Shigaraki fighting him.
If that happens, that's 2 chapters.
How long was Kaguya?
Kaguya-sama? It was a couple 100 chapters. Kaguya was like 13 chapters. If I remember correctly.
I mean,
but dude.
I mean,
So you're going after these videos of derivatives and copies and all that stuff. You're going that My Hero is gonna have a month come out of nowhere.
Not out of nowhere. All for One. The remnants of All for One.
But he's dead, and now he's gonna come back out of nowhere like Kaguya, and then they're gonna have to team up and do some bush to defeat him once and for all. No, I would rather his hole just get pumped and then he grabs that little kid and shakes him, and then the little kid is like, dang, you right. And then they walk off into the sunset or whatever. End it.
Oh yeah, and Aries here. Dude, My Hero is such a bad series. I remember asking you about your favorite tragic villain. Now, how about your least favorite? probably Kylo.
Yeah, that's a good one because he mostly because we didn't see what the happened to him.
But
Tragic-
we do know there is a tragedy there.
Was that a tragic hero or villain?
Tragic villain.
Oh, give me any Demon Slayer. Give me
Least favorite. Except number one.
I stopped reading them during Rui.
Give me Rui.
You know what? Give me the brother and the sister because that is such a clear. Hey, what do you think we're doing here? Like we no, we see it. No, but their brother is. Yeah, no. We got it, and they're dying. Like no. It's cool. Pull it back.
What do you think of games like Stardew Valley, Graveyard Keeper, Band Hotel? So I very much like management games. And yet, I can't get into Stardew Valley or any of those games. I don't know what
I can't do it because I'd be addicted to it.
And he knows it. Least favorite backstory of One Piece?
You talking about main Straw Hat or just overall?
I'm just going to go overall.
Hey, I want to just drop this and bounce, but Law. I am not a Law fan. I don't really like Law. His backstory was fine. Korra was essentially just a nice guy that went against Dofi, who liked Law. I just don't really dig it.
Probably what we know of Usopp's. Woke a month win.
Oh.
That would just be. Oh, dude, we could never do that.
No, I'd get pissed.
Yeah, I have no time.
One woke a month is too much.
There's been discussions among fans around Gear 5 ruining the tensions of the series. Luffy is too happy when Blank gets stabbed by Blank thing. Thoughts on this? I think that part was a mistake, but for the most part, it's whatever.
Yeah. This is the fruit influencing him. It's taken over because they say that not the paramecia, the zones take over you once you have if you have a carnivorous one, you get more animalistic. So this is taking over them. It needs to be pulled back more of the do you guys think you getting away from this
and
more
not
of that
and less of the oh my god the eye thing again.
No, I like the eye thing when he was rolling back.
No, that was great, but
less of it when a tragic thing happens.
Or even when it's something that isn't particularly that goofy is going on. Like if he saw if he saw Zoro and Sanji fight and
I
he
will
did
play
it.
Cosmic Star Heroine because seriously 95% I'm not stupid not to take it, but after I finish P3 Portable.
Yes. I love Cosmic Star Heroine. Do you like One Piece more now or less now, or do you like it the same amount that you did before?
I think Egghead is pumping this up because Wano made it go down.
Yes,
Wano had a lot of problems.
I felt the length of Wano, and it's been a long time since I felt the length of anything.
But Wano has had it's been almost entirely banger chapters. Egghead, sorry.
Yeah,
and Wano was just like. Man,
Whole Cake is a top 3 arc. Egghead is probably a top 5 arc.
I'm going top 3 as well.
I can't give it that.
Whole Cake is my 1. Egghead might be my number 2.
and that's crazy to think about. You think Shiggy's gonna die? I think Shiggy's gonna die fighting All for One.
Shut up! I give it 60% that he tries to save him. He does, but it's
Shiggy the kid Shiggy smiles and then it fades away.
Disintegrates. I've done too much evil, or I can't take my holes getting pumped so much, and he disintegrates. I give it 60%. I will say there is no ending that will be satisfying with Shigaraki. I cannot think of a single one that is plausible that will be satisfying based upon where this is going.
I was thinking just him being evil, but that doesn't speak to the story of Deku becoming the greatest hero. Like he just completely rejects Nana and Deku.
And it's not satisfying because this is Deku's goal all this time, and he's been like, "I'm gonna save him," and then he
But
just
I think that is satisfying. It's just not satisfying in the way that is it's kind of like Upgrade. Upgrade was a very satisfying ending, but it's not satisfying in a way that a casual audience would.
But it's wasted time, is my thing.
I don't think it's wasted time as much as a goal that failed.
But he could have been thinking of a better way to defeat him as opposed to going into it going, I need to save him.
But it's just a failure of saving him. Like, if Luffy doesn't become the Pirate King, I don't think it's wasted time that his goal was to become the Pirate King.
No, I don't think so, because that's more of the journey than the destination. Because that's his whole thing. He wants that adventure.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I don't think a goal not being...
I think it is.
I think if the goal was dropped, it would be different.
I think it is when he is a literal Satan, and he, and there are better ways to just decapitate this man.
What causes things to be popular? Is it a right place, right time situation? How does the quality play into it? It is. There needs to be something that captures the people, and by captures the people, I mean there needs to be sound, there needs to be a visual, there needs to be a story, there needs to be something that the people gravitate toward. For Demon Slayer, it was the animation. Now that other series are catching up in that animation, it's still always going to be Demon Slayer, but you're not going to see another series that gets super popular based off the animation like Demon Slayer, unless the animation just goes to a level that is, as of right now, cannot be accomplished. For things like Naruto, it was a right place, right time situation. We were coming off the high of Dragon Ball. There was no other series that was kind of filling that niche in the US, and then Naruto slotted into that spot. Those types of things. Things don't become phenomena just because they're good. I want to recommend a video called Why No One Likes Woke Characters by Eddie Mion TV. That's not a question, but sure. We'll look into it.
I will take a look at it and put it on the list if it is worthy.
BG, read Liar Game. It's like Death Note meets Squid Game. Oh, that sounds fun. You have 20 words to describe why my hero is stupid now. Deku gets powers. Nothing matters. Racism not explored. Everyone comes back. Now they matter.
Setup.
Set up, close fist.
Things. Because it's the whole thing about things occurring without proper setup.
There we go. That basically.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the setup, boy. You can't just be like, I'm going to become this boy's heart.
What is your least favorite human Z fighter and your favorite? Least favorite?
Chaozu, because he doesn't do anything. Nebulously human, but that's fine.
Tien for me. He just has no real character to him.
Favorite is Krillin. He does enough. He's funny. He has one of the unique abilities, even though Muff just pop it out like it's nothing.
Yep, Krillin would be the one. And final one. What do you think the endings in Shonen manga are for most bad?
Why do you think?
Why do you think the endings in Shonen are for the most part bad?
Because it's hard to wrap up a lot of different things. The final villain is usually the big bad, and how do you defeat the big bad? You can either match their level, in which case it's very difficult to be satisfying in a way, or you don't, and you have to bullshit the way to kill them, and that's also not satisfying.
Corey, your question isn't in the question section, so I don't see it. What question?
There's rules.
Yeah, there's rules. Like, I don't see it. What do you want me to do, sir?
Why don't you just put it in the Discord? Why don't you call us? Why don't you come over, you cuck?
Yeah, I don't even see it. All right, we're out there. Don't know. Would you rather have a PB&J with too much P or too much J?
Too much P.
Too much PB.
Too much PB. Yeah. Because too much jelly, it just gets sloppy.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Bring back Kris. How about we shove off? Yep, don't know what we're doing next. Y'all can enjoy the rest of your day.
But the week after, we know what we're doing.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Should we just tell them?
Oh, yeah, we can let them know.
2 weeks from now, we will be finishing up the DSP interview. It will be 1 year
It's
since
the
he
1
did
year
it.
anniversary, so we gotta get it done.
So we're doing it.
2 Saturdays from now is DSP time, baby.
When is the next ALX versus Bombs? It's not gonna be any time this month, unfortunately. We're doing too much.
Yeah.
I'm
unfortunately very busy.
It'd probably be mid to late summer, sometime around there. Sounds good. Yeah. Maybe early August.
Hey, it's a lot of time, intern, and people don't show up for it, and it's a lot of stuff to do, all right? Find anybody else on the internet that have done more with that interview than us. You can't, so it's worth the wait.
And with that, we are actually out of here.
Come at our neck.
You don't want Mark Month. Your points were giving willingly. We were there for cupcakes. Obey or be timed.
MF Curry says. Same thing with popular with mainstream music where people will listen to the music just for background and the trend, which that is what